This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning, relatives of a missing pregnant mom keeping hope alive that she is alive. Calls for the government to pause a new hospital development. And with a by-election and a general election looming, we are talking with the F&M Secretary General about what should happen next. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Chester Robards will be joining us. Also this morning in business, our monthly series with Bristol Wines and Spirits. So that's all ahead. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the national and international headlines this morning.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, wake up.
In the overnight, relatives of Lauren Saunders, missing pregnant mother of two, who was last seen on Sunday, organizing a search along Coral Harbor Road, holding out hope they'd find her safe and sound. The search started after Saunders' brother found her vehicle abandoned with a flat tire on the side of the road near Albany. Saunders' only surviving aunt, Alice Rolls, says the ordeal has been challenging, especially for her children. The missing mother's children saying, quote, they're trying as best as they can. They're minors. They're in primary school. The oldest one's in grade 6. And he's asking, where's my mom? Rolls says Saunders went to work on Sunday, but following her disappearance and the discovery of her vehicle, family members reached out to authorities, stressing that the radio silence has been unlike her and that if she was in danger, that she would have called. Relatives went to the hospital and found no record that she was there. Rose says she believes police officers are currently have possession of Saunders' phone, trying to bypass his security code, and they have shared that the family is still waiting for further information. The F&M making key pledges on policy initiatives it would undertake if elected. The pledges were posted on the party's relaunched website. While the promises were wide-ranging, covering social, economic, and good governance measures, many were vague and unclear how they would be executed. As it relates to economic pledges, the F&M said it would slash red tape to support businesses and entrepreneurs and promote economic growth that would create more well-paid jobs and fund quality public services. The party also said it would remove VAT and import duties on healthy foods and essential medications to help reduce the cost of living. With the general election due next year, both parties have been ramping up their campaigns, ratifying candidates. Another promise was to provide $200 per month in child support for the first 2 years of life. The FNM also said it would transform schools by providing support for teachers and giving Bahamians the best chance from cradle to college. Two FNM candidates raising concern over the preliminary approval that was granted for a specialty hospital in Western New Providence, claiming there was not enough due diligence and that it was a done deal before the public consultation began. FNM Senator Michael Barnett Ellis, who's running in the Killarney constituency, and Travis Robinson, who's the party's candidate for Fort Shore, they were not surprised when they learned that the Town Planning Committee granted conditional approval for the project. The $300 million 200-bed and children's hospital would be located on New Providence Highway, the thoroughfare that runs between Saunders Beach and the Six-Legged Roundabout. A man accused of a nightclub shooting telling a judge that he was out of the country the incident occurred. Devin Lang faces one count of attempted murder stemming from a shooting at a club in New Providence in May 2024. However, during his bail application before Justice Neil Brathwaite, Lang claimed he had traveled to Canada the month before the shooting and had remained there until he was arrested by Canadian police during an investigation into street gangs in November 2024. He did not face any charges in Canada and was deported to the Bahamas in June 2025. Prosecutor Betty Wilson argued that Lang should remain in custody because he was a flight risk and a threat to public safety. Brathwaite will give his decision on bail on November 24th. A man accused of murder claimed he was defending himself. Kenneth Hanna recalling the events that led to the fatal stabbing of Anton Big Boy McPhee at the Fish Fry at Arawak Key on December 18, 2021. He testified yesterday that he interviewed Hanna. This is Investigator Corporal Giovanna Wilson, and interviewed Hanna the day after McPhee's death. According to Hanna, he was ganged by McPhee and his friends, and one of them with a knife. Hanna said that he pulled a pocket knife and started swinging in defense of himself. According to Hanna, he panicked and ran away after seeing blood. He was arrested by police a short time later. Wilson said that no surveillance footage was collected from the crime scene, despite cameras in the area. Overseas, a large-scale Russian drone and missile attack across Ukraine killed at least 6 people, including a woman and her 2 daughters. As U.S.-led efforts to end the war floundered and Ukraine's president sought more foreign military help. Repeated waves of missiles and drones throughout the night targeted at least 8 Ukrainian cities, as well as a village in the Kyiv region, where a strike set fire to a house in which the mother and her 6-month and 12-year-old daughters were staying. At least 25 people, including 5 children, were injured in Kyiv alone. Russian drones also hit a kindergarten in Kharkiv, Ukraine's second-largest city. This happened during the day Wednesday when children were in the building. 1 person was killed and 6 were injured, but no children were physically harmed. And North Korea performing its first ballistic missile tests in 5 months today, days before U.S. President Donald Trump and other leaders are expected to meet in South Korea. South Korea's military said it detected multiple short-range ballistic missiles that were launched from an area south of Pyongyang and flew about 220 miles towards the northeast. The South's Joint Chiefs of Staff didn't release more specific flight details, but said the missiles didn't land in the sea. The Joint Chiefs added that the South's military remains ready to repel any provocations by North Korea based on its solid military alliance with the United States. Meanwhile, Japan's new prime minister telling reporters that Tokyo was closely communicating with Washington and Seoul, including by sharing real-time missile warning data. North Korea didn't immediately comment on the launches. The Louvre reopened today to long lines beneath its landmark Paris glass pyramid, just 3 days after one of the highest-profile museum thefts of the century. The thieves slipped in and out of the famed museum, making off 8 pieces from France's crown jewels, a cultural wound that some officials compared to the burning of Notre Dame in 2019. The Sunday morning heist unfolded just 270 yards from the Mona Lisa and has prompted a national reckoning and raised questions about the museum's newly proposed security measures. In sports, as it turns out, Bahamian Valdez, Vijay Edgecombe, Philadelphia 76ers will have a legitimate shot to go after the Rookie of the Year award in the NBA this season, along with other accolades. The Philadelphia Inquirer is reporting that the Sixers are planning on starting the 6'4", 180-pound guard out of Baylor this evening when they take on Boston Celtics. Edgecombe had a strong training camp and ensuing preseason, averaging 16.67 points in 3 games. In the finale, he exploded for 26 points and added 6 rebounds, 5 steals, and 3 assists. With 9-time NBA All-Star Paul George set to miss the start of the preseason, there was speculation that Edgecombe could crack the starting lineup on opening day. Sixers head coach Nick Nurse confirming that speculation and indicating that the Bahamian Phenom will start as a wing player, complementing starting point guard Tyrese Maxey. Well, last night was opening night for the NBA, and the Oklahoma City Thunder fans got everything they wanted: a ring ceremony, a championship banner unveiling, and a win over former Oklahoma City star Kevin Durant and the Houston Rockets. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the reigning MVP, hit 2 free throws with 2.3 seconds remaining in the second overtime to give the Thunder a 125-124 win. It was just the 6th time an opening night went to double overtime and the first since 2005. The other game last night, Luka Doncic receiving extensive post-game treatment after his 43-point performance in the Los Angeles Lakers season opener on Tuesday night, delaying his meeting with the media for well over an hour after the final whistle. The Lakers didn't say whether Doncic needed an extra recovery time because he was sore from carrying the Lakers on his back during their 119-109 loss to the Golden State Warriors. He was aggressive and dynamic during his 3rd highest scoring game in a Lakers uniform, adding 12 rebounds and 9 assists, but it wasn't enough to push the Lakers to a victory without LeBron James, who will be sidelined by sciatica for at least the next few weeks. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Star General. We are keeping a close eye on the tropics. Tropical storm Melissa out in the Caribbean Sea already dumping heavy rain on Hispaniola as forecasters warn of significant flood risk in parts of the Caribbean. The rain snarling traffic in the Dominican Republic and people in Haiti growing concerned over the possibility of heavy flooding. Jamaica also keeping a close eye on Melissa as well. Hurricane watch in effect now for southern Haiti, while Jamaica is under a tropical storm watch. For us right now, We are seeing troughing coupled with tropical moisture that's going to continue to enhance shower and thunderstorm activity for the southeastern and central Bahamas. A tightening pressure gradient between a high pressure area across the southeast U.S. and Tropical Storm Melissa to our south will maintain fresh northeast to easterly breezes across the area today. Drier and more stable conditions will prevail over the northern parts of the country for now. We'll tell you more about the extended outlook in just a bit. But for today, there is a marginal threat for isolated strong thunderstorms across the southeast Bahamas, and there remains a moderate risk of rip currents along exposed shorelines for all areas. So for the northern half of the country today, your forecast, a mix of sun and clouds becoming mostly fair at night. Only about a 10 to 20% chance of showers. Winds northeasterly at 10 to 15 knots, higher in gusts for the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence. Northeast to east at 10 to 15 knots for the extreme northern islands. For the central Bahamas today, partly cloudy to cloudy with a 30 to 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Winds northeast to east at 15 to 20 knots. For the southeastern islands, mostly cloudy to overcast with a 40 to 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Winds east to southeast at 15 to 20 knots, increasing to 20 to 25 knots tonight. Temperature-wise, we're looking at highs around 90 Fahrenheit today, 32 Celsius. The heat index will make it feel like it's almost 100, 98, 99 Fahrenheit, 37 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. That's your first weather this morning. As we said, we'll have more on what Melissa's going to do to the forecast, especially for the southeastern Bahamas, coming up. This weather check brought to you by Star General Insurance Made Simple.
Wake up, it's a new day.
It is time for a break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
No, for posters and banners, magazines and flyers, for window decals, reading newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
It's time to upgrade the way you enjoy at-home entertainment. Alive Fiber is here. Enjoy all your favorite channels and streaming apps, all at lightning-fast internet speeds with affordable bundles, and it's only a click away. Visit www.alivefiber.com to sign up now. Stay connected, live your life. It's good to be alive.
Wake up, Bahamas! The Morning Blend team is hitting the road. Join us Thursday, October 23rd, live from Bahamar, the Caribbean's leading integrated resort destination, as we bring you front row access to the return of Fuse Caribbean Art Fair, now bigger and brighter than ever. It's all part of the Bahamas Culinary and Arts Festival, happening October 22nd through 26th, featuring world-class chefs, exclusive tastings, masterclasses, and a headline performance by four-time Grammy Award winner and Bahamian rock legend Lenny Kravitz. With over 120 artists and galleries from 21 countries, Fuse promises an immersive celebration of creativity, culture, and Caribbean brilliance. So don't miss Morning Blend, live from Bahamar, Thursday, October 23rd, as we capture the sights, sounds, and stories of Fuse Caribbean Art Fair.
Mom, the Christmas cookies are ready. We leave them right here under the tree for For Santa or for CIBC Caribbean?
Tis the season for dreams to come true. Whether it's a house, land, vehicle, or upgrading your home, CIBC Caribbean can support your dreams with the financing you need. Enjoy incredible cashback deals with mortgages and land loans. Plus, your approved loan gives you a chance to win up to US $5,000. Apply now at www.cibccaribbean.com/sweeten the season. Terms and conditions apply.
Elevate your gadget game, or are tech troubles simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows, or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice. It's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the Know-How team at 396-1101.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
Wake up, Bahamas! The Morning Blend team is hitting the road. Join us Thursday, October 23rd, live from Bahamar, the Caribbean's leading integrated resort destination, as we bring you front row access to Return of Views Caribbean Art Fair, now bigger and brighter than ever. It's all part of the Bahamas Culinary and Arts Festival, happening October 22nd through 26th, featuring world-class chefs, exclusive tastings, masterclasses, and a headline performance by 4-time Grammy Award winner and Bahamian rock legend Lenny Kravitz, with over 120 artists and galleries from 21 countries. Fuse promises an immersive celebration of creativity, culture, and Caribbean brilliance. So don't miss Morning Blend, live from Bahamar, Thursday, October 23rd, as we capture the sights, sounds, and stories of Fuse Caribbean Art Fair.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line, powered by BTC, 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Chester Robards. Chester Robards, good morning.
Good morning.
Great to have you with us.
Glad to be here.
Got a lot to talk about this morning. We are going to be talking some politics. The F&M Secretary General, Strachan is going to be joining us. And we've got a by-election coming up. We've got a general election coming up. A lot happening. F&M making some interesting promises.
Got a senator to replace.
But yes, that's true.
Yeah.
A lot to do.
Yeah.
Oh boy, okay, didn't think about that, but yeah, that'll be right. Well, if he doesn't win, do they have to? Anyway, we can talk about that when we. Yeah, we'll discuss all of that coming up in a bit. Later, Bristol Wines and Spirits, they're here. We've got always a great time with them in store, so that is all ahead on this Wednesday. But let's begin with what else is in the news. And in the news, just not the type of story you want to have to talk about. Just very sad what's going on here. But the family still has hope. The headline in the National Guardian, "We just hope she's alive. Family launches search for missing pregnant woman." Similar headlines in the other papers. Tribune, searching for pregnant mom. Fears grow for 7-month pregnant mother who vanished after going to visit man thought to be the father. Wow. So here is the story. Our Caitlin Babb writing about this. Relatives of Lauren Saunders, a missing pregnant mother of 2, who was last seen on Sunday, organizing a search yesterday along Coral Harbor Road, hoping and holding out hope that they'll find her safe and sound. The search started after Saunders' brother found her vehicle abandoned with a flat tire on the side of the road near Albany. Alice Rolls, Saunders' only surviving aunt, said the ordeal has been challenging, especially for Saunders' children. Speaking during the search yesterday, saying, quote, "They're trying," this is the children, "they're trying as best as they can. They're minors, they're in primary school. The oldest one's in grade 6, and he's asking, 'Where's my mom? You found the car, so where's mom?'" Wow. Rolls says, quote, "We're just trying our best to comfort them as best we can." Now, Rolls says Saunders went to work on Sunday, saying, quote, "She works at Albany, and she left, I think they said, around lunchtime to go to meet somebody, and she was never heard or seen since then." Following Saunders' disappearance and the discovery of her vehicle, family members reached out to authorities, stressing that the radio silence has been unlike her, and if she was in danger or need of help, she would have called. Relatives went to the hospital but found no record that she was there. Rolls said Tuesday's search began on Coral Harbor Road, saying they assembled at the roundabout and went to the Frank Watson area. She said, quote, "We were doing a search there and we got another tip on one of the phones to come where we are. Her sisters are further back doing the search, so we're just going to join them right now." Well, that's what she told reporters while on the search yesterday. Rolls says she believes that police officers are currently holding Saunders' phone, trying to bypass a security code, as she shared that the family is still waiting for further information. She noted that Saunders' sudden disappearance has taken a toll on family members who continue to suffer from sleepless nights and heightened anxiety as they wonder where their loved one could be. She says that although the search continues and the family continues to wait on officers to provide further information, she expressed deep appreciation from members of the public who have reached out to provide words of support and encouragement and have also asked or will come out to help with the search effort. Wow. 7 months pregnant.
Yeah.
That's rough. Just for another perspective, I will read the Tribune as well. A desperate search is underway for a 7-month pregnant mother of 2 who vanished after leaving work on Sunday to meet someone and never returned home. 30-year-old Lauren Saunders' abandoned SUV was found off Coral Harbor Road with a flat tire, her purse and shoes inside. Her family fears the worst. Her sister, Charmaine Edgecombe, said relatives believe she left to meet the man thought to be the father of her unborn child. He is believed to be a married individual, married to somebody else. The family grew alarmed when Saunders failed to show up for a function in Atlantis and could not be reached by phone. They checked every hospital ward before filing a police report. Soon after, another sister retraced Saunders' usual route to work and made a chilling discovery. Saying, quote, they drive up and they saw the Jeep next to the road, and then they called the police and they did a further investigation, but they didn't actually say if they found anything. All we know is that the Jeep was there and the front tire was flat. When the Tribune visited the scene yesterday, police officers were combing thick bushes off the track near Coral Harbor Road, rather, expanding their search along other tracks off Gladstone Road. Now, police have not confirmed reports that the father of Saunders' unborn child has been questioned either.
No.
Boy.
One of those stories, huh?
Yeah, don't even know what to say.
No. Nobody saw anything?
Wow.
But the aunt mentioned that they searched Gladstone Road because of a tip.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, police didn't really say anything to reporters yesterday at the scene.
Yeah.
So
that's odd.
I mean, we're left to just wonder. I guess the key to this will be what's in the phone when they unlock it. But to find a car there with all that stuff in it,
that's pretty scary.
That's scary.
Yeah. I really don't know what to say. I don't know. I don't even know if we should open the phone lines, but
I mean, there's nothing to say, is it?
I guess.
We need updates.
But, wow. Anyway, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. You can tweet us, you can Facebook us, you can text us, 422-4796.
I mean, people had been helping with the search. So, I mean, if they're searching again today, maybe they need some help. Someone with a drone, I don't know. Maybe they could find the family and people could offer some help. You know.
Yeah. Well, everybody needs to come together and do something.
Yeah.
Do something. But Sunday, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Long time. Wow. Wow. Again, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Okay, let's move on. So, an interesting story in today's Tribune. So, it's about Grand Bahama. Grand Bahama businesses claiming decline since Celebration Key opened. We've reported on that as well. But more local businesses and tour operators are claiming they've experienced a sharp decline in visitors, as much as 90% for some, since the opening of Carnival's new $600 million Celebration Key cruise port in East Grand Bahama. The significant decline in foot traffic and bookings with local tour operators has left many struggling to stay afloat, prompting a series of meetings with tourism stakeholders and government officials, including Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, Chester Cooper. The operator of Pirates Cove, Zip Line, and Water Park, David Wallace, said that while he continues to believe that Celebration Key is an excellent project for the island, the economic fallout for independent operators has been greater than expected. At Pirates Cove, the number of visitors has plummeted within the past 2 months. He reported that when a Carnival came to Freeport Harbor with one of their cruise ships, they could have around 400 tourists, 200 on tour bus, 200 by taxi. But, quote, now we're getting about 26 to 30 by tour bus from Celebration Key. He said that number for us, while it's better than nothing at all, cannot sustain this operation. Prior to the opening of Celebration Key, Carnival cruise ships called at Freeport Harbor about 15 times per month, bringing about 350,000 people each year. The cruise line will now be calling about 40 times per week, making over 2,000 calls to the new port, bringing about 2.5 million passengers annually. Many local businesses expanded their operations in anticipation of the new port opening, but within the first 2 months, they have seen great declines. Wow. Okay, there's a whole lot more on that, but let's get your reaction to this.
Not unexpected.
Not unexpected, yeah. They were really hoping that was going to get people.
I mean, I get that there was an expectation, but if there was going to be a decline in calls to the harbor,
which is closer to where these businesses are,
much closer.
Yeah. And the
Celebration Key is far.
Yeah. Now, some had warned that this would likely happen because of the distance.
Yeah.
But this drop off is quite significant.
And also, I mean, what should have happened simultaneously is something, the reinvestment in the Freeport Harbor to accommodate other cruise lines and whatever the other cruise lines want to do there and wanted to do there should have happened. That should have been negotiated and closed before Carnival opened Celebration Key. But there's something happening there, and I can't tell you what it is, but it's not moving fast.
You can't tell because you've been sworn to secrecy?
Because I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I mean, but we keep hearing the things, right? So we hearing Royal Caribbean bought the Xanadu Beach property. We're hearing that during the FNM administration that they wanted to develop a attraction near to the port.
And they had wanted the guy in.
Yeah, we hear MSC has interest in the port and growing, and so where is it going? I mean, you know what I'm saying? These poor people are going to struggle until they figure that out.
Even with the distance, do you think if there was something amazing in downtown Freeport or Lucaya that people would be willing to take the drive?
No, not right now.
No.
I mean, they have to get used to the newness of Celebration Key. For the most part, the people who are going there on Carnival's cruise ships right now have never been there before.
Right.
So why are they leaving it?
Yeah. Now, we saw that. Did you see that video of an American who was there saying that she wanted more of a Bahamian experience and it was kind of generic?
Yeah.
But the people are still coming, I guess, to experience that until they listen and make some adjustments.
Yeah. But again, I mean, that's not the Freeport's not their only stop. So, you know what I mean? It's part of a longer cruise. I think people just anticipate.
Well, you don't want it to be the least memorable part of the cruise.
No, I agree. I mean, Carnival should think about that. They spend all the money on it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know, but
perhaps if it were more authentically Bahamian, people might say, I want to see more of this. And if you can entice them to get into the town, right?
I don't know. If your investment that you have in Freeport isn't is able to move, or you could find like some location close to the Celebration Key. I would do that.
Wow.
I mean, I understand Pirates Cove because they're somewhere else.
Yeah.
So
Let's hear from you about it, folks. Let's go to the phone lines. Good morning, caller. You're live on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Good morning, Chester.
good morning.
Good morning.
Dwight, Chester, if you keep doing the same thing, expecting different results, that's the definition for insanity. We have been saying for the past 30 years, the cruise ship industry to the Bahamas is an investment in diminishing returns. Until we understand that tourism is about experiencing the destination and the culture and the people of the destination, we are going to continue down the same road. It's happening in Grand Bahama, it's happening in New Providence, it's happening in Eleuthera, it's happening in every destination where we allow the cruise ships to control the movement of the guests of the cruise ships into their private investments. We must incentivize Bahamians and others to invest in the people of the Bahamas and cause those cruise ship passengers to leave those cruise ship controlled, owned destinations and go into the country, into the people of our destination so that we can benefit from these mega investments and incentives that we afford these foreign direct investors. It's not going to change. It's like taking the cruise ship and putting them on land. It's an all-inclusive.
Yeah.
It's people.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Freddie. Yep. You've been saying it. You've been preaching it for a long time. It seems to be falling on deaf ears, though. But yeah. What is it the newness thing, as Chester said? Will it level out? Will it change after a few months, years,
who
maybe?
knows?
Years
But-
is long. Years is perhaps too long.
But again, I mean, if you look at the drive into Freeport, like I said, if your attraction is in like Freeport proper, if it's close to Freeport Harbor, you far from Celebration Key. So that drive for tourists, unless it's a plus a tour of Pine Barren, I don't know, whatever it is you're going to see on the way, I don't know. And as people get to understand and talk about it on sites, cruise sites and that kind of thing, is it going to get worse? Because they'd be like, oh, but that was a long drive from Celebration Key. You might as well just stay there.
Oh,
you know what I
boy.
mean? Can you imagine?
Ugh. Yikes. Maybe they need a bullet train or something. I don't know. Caller,
That'd
good
be
morning.
cool,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
Something
People would pay to go on that.
entertaining, yeah.
Right. There you go. Caller, you're on the air. Hi. Turn on your radio for us, please. Turn on your radio.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Everything cool?
Yeah, pretty good.
Dwight, I might be wrong on this, right? But I can put my 5 cents. And I listen to my good friend, Mr. Money Freddie. And he's saying it for years and years. But our politicians don't listen. They are the worst negotiators in the world. You give them people all them keys. If I don't want to ship, I can't make people the keys, According to the information I get, Dwight, Freeport was designed to be an industrial hub. Am I right or wrong?
Initially, that did change after a while.
You have Centex had Borco and all these places like that. Am I right or wrong, Dwight?
In its initial incarnation, yes.
Yeah, so why try for, as I travel the U.S. and many cities, every city got their own different taste, I mean, everybody really depend on tourism, but people, they need to be one people. But we visit the Hospital Creek Agreement, man. You understand what I'm saying? We just need to fix it. We need to put the brightest people in our parliament, man. Not these bunch of old dinosaur people who in our country. All about wheeling and dealing like Papa say, cutting deals, and the people, our people catching hell. But I ain't sorry for what's us being. Keep doing the same thing.
Even if you are, okay, thanks a lot. Even if you are an industrial city, though, I mean, restaurants and stuff.
Grand Bahama has room for a lot.
You're right, but even if that is your focus, there will need to be other types of businesses, and if they cannot function at all, that's not going to help anybody. So I mean, you got to diversify, right? That's what we've been saying about Nassau. Everybody needs to have more than just one trick.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You're looking for trouble.
You need a two-headed pony.
At least.
But you know you said it. Like there needs to be investment in other things at the same time. The problem is Bahamians, and it won't be Bahamians. Let's just be clear and honest about it, because they don't have the resources, and things are made difficult for Bahamian investment.
Mm-hmm.
But you joke about it, a bullet train, but that's something fast, something interesting.
Yeah,
a fast tour. I don't know.
We'd definitely get some people on it.
Absolutely.
Where are we going? Nowhere, but let's just do the ride, right?
It's a big loop, but you get to see a lot of Grand Bahama while you're here in a short amount of time.
Something.
I don't know, something, right? But it would help, right? But and it's a novel idea, but we need more novel ideas.
Yeah.
But we need Bahamian ownership, because what's the point of having another foreigner come in here and be making all the money again? That's still diminishing returns for Bahamians.
Very true.
Right?
6 more calls.
And you talk about cruise, but the stopover industry is the same. All the money is going to foreign interests.
Especially there's nothing for people to do when they stop over.
That too. I mean,
Come on. And you're going to need hotels even if you are an industrial town. You're still going to need it. And they will want something to do after hours, not just sleep, right? Maybe. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning to both of you. See Alan Johnson.
Hi, good morning.
Right, let me just do some quick house cleaning. JJ with his Freeport is industrial town, and in case JJ, for JJ knowledge, Freeport currently is 230 square miles, which is about 150,000 acres. The initial 50,000 acres of Freeport was supposed to include an industrial area plus housing and hotels and everything else. So that probably, you could put the industrial area probably at about 30,000 square acres, comparative to 150,000 square miles of what Freeport currently consists of. 150,000 square acres, which is 230 square miles, which is about 30 square miles less than Singapore. For those who keep running on with this thing about Freeport being an industrial, Freeport was part industrial, but the major economy in Freeport was hospitality and tourism.
Yeah.
And we've had 20, maybe 30 different hotels. In fact, if you extrapolate from what the Freeport traffic used to bring, the 400,000 visitors to Freeport is equivalent to the 11 million ship visitors today. And so we just have to understand where Freeport was and where it needs to get back to and beyond. And so, I know people keep repeating about Freeport this and that, but those who don't know what Freeport is and what Freeport used to be. But when you look at the concept of the thing, I know people say we need to get people out of the harbors. They are not our customers. We need to stop fantasizing and say we need people to leave the shopping mall, the self-contained area, to come out of that area to shop. What we have to do is that we at one time, we used to, up to 2009, we used to represent sun, sand, sea, and service. According to a survey in 2009, we dropped service, and we just go sun, sand, and sea. And so at the same time, those around us saw the opportunity to up their service game, which just is to stop over visitors, and then they begin to cannibalize us for the experience once people begin to talk about it.
Wow. You're talking about the entire Bahamas, not just Grand Bahama, or
yeah, right? That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Grand Bahama to suffer the brunt of what it is. It's us who we are, and so the problem is that we keep talking about the what, the when, the where, the how, and why, but we've never had a conversation as to how. But Dwight, today, as it stands right now in the last 3 years, I'll just go back to the DARE bill when it was first enacted by the Free National Movement.
Okay, really quick, about 30 seconds.
Huh?
You got about 30 seconds.
From that particular time to now, we were first movers in the world, and we haven't moved since, okay? So, but that gives us access to billions of dollars. I see people say multi-millions. No, it gives us access to billions of dollars on the global market. When I say us, I'm talking about behemoths individually and collectively, to basically begin to build our own structure. When you talk about Freeport, everyone knew that, yes, I want you to pay attention to these numbers, right? When they did stopover visitors, 1 or 2 ships a week used to stop there from Carnival. A few thousand people, you may say, get off. Now Carnival is at this new harbor bringing in 6 million people, And now you're saying, imagine that, you go from, let's say, 1 million to 6 to 12 million, and your business fall off 90%. Okay? Because it wasn't designed for you. It was designed as an inclusive resort. And so for us to keep thinking that we could build an economy from the trinkets that's left over from these people with a cruise ship, have extract the money from them, travel around the Caribbean to these other parts, and they stop to us. We are one of 2 destinations in the Bahamas that cruise ships must stop to or pay a 50% tax on their earnings.
Yeah. Okay, Seattle, we got to go. But thank you very much. Appreciate it. You were going to say something?
No, I was going to ask you a question.
Okay, really, one more call, and then we got to go to these messages, and then we've got to take a break. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Dwight, thanks for taking my call.
Hi.
It's an interesting topic and interesting concerns coming out of Freeport. Perhaps not surprising. I'm reading the comments that was also made by the Deputy Director of Tourism, reference to the state of the industry. And I think, I don't know if it's just me, but I find that it's a bit vague as to what the strategy is that she referred to, other than she pointed to specific areas that they're going to be focusing on. She indicated that they had brought a lot of personnel from the different regional offices, but there were no numbers mentioned as to what constituted too strong, the strong numbers that she was referencing. And she didn't outline in any form of strategy. That being said, the other day, Royal Caribbean unveiled a fleet of vessels that were going to be a part of their Royal Caribbean Beach Club. And I was trying to determine whether or not those ferries were locally owned or were they owned by Royal Caribbean. My information still remains vague as to who owns them. And it kind of ties to this strategy that, to me, that headline should have read, as far as I was concerned when I saw the unveiling, local Bahamian company unveils its new fleet for Royal Caribbean Beach Club.
I told him that, just for the record, I told him that. I told him they should have gotten the eventual owner, an operator of the vessels, to be the headline of the press release, and not what they sent out. It is a Bahamian. The company is Bahamian, but the owner is not speaking yet, and Royal Caribbean's not calling their name yet.
Oh wow!
I'm delighted.
It's weird.
I'm delighted to understand a bit more on it, and it would be helpful. It will be helpful because I was a bit very, very concerned considering the ambiguity at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But there needs to be a much stronger effort to bring the grassroots along in terms of not just internal ownership, like what Celebration Key and Grand Bahama did was, it seems they incorporated the locals on the site, but there was no focus on how the business would impact outside of the key.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's not really for them though. That's for the folks in Grand Bahama, and they did very little. Thanks a lot, John. Very little to do anything. It seems. All right, we got to get through these messages really quickly. Somebody says here, it's good morning. I hope Nassau sees the writing on the wall. If that's what it's saying, I guess. We need help on Crooked Island. There's no light and water. Oh boy.
Huh?
What? Ooh.
Both?
Ooh. Who in their right mind thought the Carnival project was going to boost economic activity in Freeport? Study the model, please. In every case, the local economy suffers. Think Bahamas. Nothing in Freeport could draw the traffic to Freeport, as the design is not. I can't stand the rest of it. But anyway, you just can't compete, I guess they're suggesting. This person says they've always maintained that cruise ships are competing with our tourism generally. The sad part is that we are enabling them as a country. We need to tax them out of the country. I'm not kidding. Whoa. Okay. I want to call in so bad, but my minutes keep running out. I want to sell, but I see this every day. The leaders are destroying the country. I see this daily. I won't call the name of the Royal Boat Charter Company, but it's a former MP. No love here for a small band. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Well, it said former PLP MP. I left that part of it. So former PLP MP, yeah. The tourism project is doing well. It is we, Bahamians, who have not adapted to the new reality. The shareholders of Carnival do well. We, who lack ownership and have jobs, do not do as well as the shareholders. The colorful ferries are owned by Royal Caribbean. It will transport tourists to and from their beach day property only. But that's not.
So Royal Caribbean wanted a certain type and whatever of ferry for the project. So they got them developed. But I don't know the details, but I think they invested in them, and now the owner of the company that's going to be operating them, I think the ownership is going to transfer to them in whatever, overtime or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they pay back the investments. I don't know how it's going to work.
Wow.
I just know that there's a Bahamian company that's going to operate them and supposed to own them.
Okay.
Maybe it's a lease deal. I don't know. Something like that. We get all the details.
This texture here as we go to the break. This is really ridiculous. Dwight, a pregnant woman is missing, and as soon as a married man may be involved, you don't want to talk about it anymore. It's no longer important to you, so you move on to another topic. Texter, they need to seek some help immediately. I had know nothing about this matter, and whether a married man is involved or not, this is a very sad situation. We've opened it up for calls. People weren't calling, and there is very little we can say. We're hoping for the best, but if that's how you saw this, God bless you. We're gonna take a break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Cause we got some jokey leaders in a jokey town. A three-ring circus, what a bunch of clowns. They joking and they jiving, they messing around. We got some jokey leaders, what a bunch of clowns.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app. Nassau, Bahamas.
I'm Marcela Sanchez with an AP News Minute. Vice President J.D. Vance is in Israel. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the two talked about a new vision for peace in the Middle East.
How to have the civil government, how to have the security there, who could provide that security there, again, with Israel taking care of overall security always. And we discussed that, and I think we have some very, very good ideas how to proceed. It's not going to be easy, but I think it's possible.
Speaking to reporters, Vance said the Gaza peace plan is progressing and could be a model for other peace plans in the future.
If we do this the right way, it could create a model, I think, that could lead to other peace agreements all over the world, because it shows what's possible when you're willing to think outside the box and actually put some elbow grease to get it done.
But uncertainty still remains over the peace plan, including disarming Hamas, the deployment of an international security force in Gaza, and who will govern the territory. More information at apnews.com. I'm Marcela Sanchez.
It is time for your first look at traffic, brought to you by RBC. With RBC, your ideas happen here. In your real-time traffic, we are seeing some heavy traffic on Milo Butler Highway as usual. Heavy northbound traffic from Fire Trail straight up to Tonic-Williams-Darling Highway. You're heading northbound. Building traffic on the Tonic-Williams-Darling Highway side westbound towards that roundabout. Elsewhere, Blue Hill Road also looking busy for you. Just north of Carmichael, mainly northbound there, but also some southbound traffic on the way to Malcolm Road. And then north of Soldier Road, heavy traffic straight up to Independence Drive and that roundabout. Blue Hill Road is going to get busy for you again north of that area on the way to Corridor Avenue near Big Pond. Some other hot spots, we're seeing some heavy traffic in the downtown area near Nassau Street on West Bay Street, mainly eastbound, and some slow-moving traffic along Saunders Beach, eastbound on West Bay Street. Building traffic on Prince Charles Drive, westbound at the major intersections. Soldier Road north of the Robinson Prince Charles intersection Heavy traffic there on the northbound lanes towards Bernard Wolf and Village Road. Eastern Road still seeing some slow-moving traffic near Johnson Road westbound. That's your first look at traffic this morning, brought to you by RBC. With RBC, your goals happen here. We've got another check of your weather brought to you by Easy Car Sales. So we're keeping an eye on the tropics and what's happening with Tropical Storm Melissa, already impacting some of the islands in the Greater Antilles and going to bring some impacts to the southern Bahamas. So unsettled weather will continue across the southeast Bahamas through the remainder of the week, driven by tropical moisture associated with Tropical Storm Melissa to the south. By Thursday, slower activity is expected to increase across the central Bahamas as an upper-level trough draws additional moisture into the region. Fresh to strong breezes will continue across the country with gusts near gale force possible for the southeastern islands by the weekend. These winds will likely lead to hazardous marine conditions, including large overtopping waves and sea spray, posing coastal risks throughout the country. Meanwhile, a weak cold front will bring a few showers to the northern Bahamas by Friday before stalling just north of the islands over the weekend. So everyone's being advised to closely monitor the progress of Tropical Storm Melissa in the Caribbean Sea over the days. So in your extended outlook for tomorrow, Thursday, variably cloudy for the northern half of the country, with partly cloudy to cloudy with overcast periods for the central and southeast Bahamas, with rain chances as well. Showers and thunderstorm chances up to 50 to 70% for the southeastern islands. That's going to hold into Friday and Saturday and Sunday. We've got to keep a close eye on Melissa, which is going to meander in the Caribbean Sea for a while before it makes any moves. We'll give you a full look at the tropical outlook in our next weather check in our 8 o'clock hour. But this weather check brought to you by Easy Car Sales. Guess what just rolled into the Easy Car Sales lots? Direct from the factory, the brand new 2026 fully electric models to fit every lifestyle and budget. Visit easy242.com or drop into any of their 3 locations for a test drive into the future.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
This October, Bahama invites you to indulge your senses at the Culinary and Arts Festival, where world-class flavors meet breathtaking creativity in the heart of the Bahamas. Join us October 22nd through 26th for an unforgettable celebration featuring culinary legends Daniel Boulud, Marcus Samuelson, Dario Cecchini, and Simeon Hall Jr., alongside a vibrant lineup of Bahamian chefs and mixologists. Explore captivating art installations, interactive workshops, and live performances, all set against the stunning backdrop of Nassau's premier luxury resort. And don't miss an electrifying live performance by global superstar Lenny Kravitz, headlining the festival's welcome party on Friday, October 24th, with a concert experience you won't forget. This is more than a festival, it's a feast for the soul. Tickets and packages are going fast. Visit bahamar.com to reserve your spot at the Culinary and Arts Festival at Bahamar, where taste and talent take center stage. Bahamar, life spectacular.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at CFAL.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
This is Guardian Radio. your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
We got some jokey leaders in a jokey town. A three-ring circus, what a bunch of clowns. They're joking and they jiving and they messing around. We got some jokey leaders, what a bunch of clowns.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong on Chester Robards. That song is not related to
That wasn't the right music?
No, it's not related to our guests or anything to do. I told my producers. Oh boy. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna have a short segment here before we get into the news and pick it up. We're going to introduce our guest, FNM Secretary General Sir Fent Roll. Good morning, sir. Great to have you on the show. I believe it's the first time you've been with me on the show. Well, let's get your mic there. No, it was a while ago. Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, yes, yes. I do think
Good
you
morning.
were.
Good morning.
Good to see you again.
Glad to be here.
All right. So we have a lot to talk about. A lot going on. A lot of by-election watch, general election watch as well. We know that the party leader, FNM leader Michael Pintard, is saying that this might not be the right move in terms of costs. But is the FNM going to challenge this by-election?
The FNM has a ratified candidate for the Golden Isles constituency in the person of Brian Brown. And of the major political parties, we were the first political party to have a ratified candidate in Golden Isles.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are ready. We have a candidate who's never stopped working. He was the candidate in the 2021 general election. He's well able, he's capable, and the people in Golden Isles continue to call for him to be their next member of parliament. And to those persons who've been sending me messages and who've been calling and whatnot, I've been getting them. We hear you.
Mm-hmm.
You want Brian Brown to be your member of parliament.
Okay. All right. We're going to get deeper into that and general election and all the a number of issues that are happening in the country right now with you and talk about your ratification as well. Coming up in just a bit after the news, this is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Sets me off to a full-on child. Yes, it does. The way you squeeze and tease knocks me to my knees.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on TalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Don't judge the day by the morning. The storm may break without warning. Keep on burning in your heart. Just get on up and make a start. Don't judge a story by the first line. There are many joys that you may still find. Who knows what the right of pen? Just hang on in there till the end. Some mornings you get up, you stub your toes.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong along with Chester Robards. We are talking with FNM Secretary General Sir Fent Roll, talking about issues in the country, election, and more, by-election, general election. All right, so as we mentioned before the break, there had been calls to just skip a by-election and go straight to a general election. Let's talk about that. What difference that would have made if we, and I know the FNM had been suggesting to the Prime Minister just do it, ring the bell, and not waste the money that will come with a by-election. Let's talk about that.
Well, Good morning again, Dwight and Chester, the great Bahamian people. Listen, when we speak to persons all throughout the country, they want to change. People are just tired of this malaise in government. People are tired of the lack of traction that this government is having. And listen, when we talk about the economy, when we talk about healthcare, when we talk about all these issues, I don't want to call them major issues. There's so many different issues that have been allowed to pile up and remain unattended to. People definitely want change. And so with the impending general election, we're looking at the time frame. And there are many people calling for just to have a general election, move straight to whoever is going to be the next government having and securing a proper mandate. That's what we need. And so that is where that idea, that discussion comes from. But we know that there is a by-election that needs to happen in any event.
Right.
If there's not a general election, it needs to be a by-election. And so let's discuss the issues in Golden Isles, the issues that persons in Golden Isles want to discuss, whether they be national issues or local issues, because those persons are going to be making a decision. Whether it's a by-election or general election, the persons in Golden Isles will need to make a decision.
Yeah. Now, I know a lot of people are concerned that here we are again, another election cycle, and we have not seen the campaign finance reform that has been promised for so many years. What's the F&M stance on this? And
we welcome the discussion. We welcome the discussion. When we saw, I believe this week, the Anglican Synod, Bishop Leish Boyd spoke about that. It's on people's lips. We really need to have a greater discussion about it and see what form it takes. We are a strong, resilient country. Some people call us small, but the Bahamas sets standards when it wants to. And so let's set some standard. Let's have a discussion about it and set some standard.
Some are hoping for more than discussion. I mean, the F&M had promised this before as well. Is this something we would see definitely if the F&M is returned to power?
I think we would definitely see more than we have now, which is a discussion by our leaders, the persons who are able to impact and draft legislation and discuss it. I think we will see more about that because the F&M does not run away from the difficult decisions, the hard decisions, the controversial topics. The F&M doesn't run away from. So I think that definitely we will see something in some form. It is something that we will not run away from.
So we were talking off air about the general election and so many questions about boundaries and what's what. What do we know so far? I think we'd heard that by November we're almost in November, but we'd have a clear idea of the boundaries. The report would be in. Do you know any more? What's going on?
I know exactly what you know.
Oh dear!
You probably know more than
that's
me.
Very scary.
Your position as a journalist. What has been said publicly and in the House of Assembly with regard to the Boundaries Commission and its report. I think the last comment was that they were meeting again this month. And so, listen, we look forward to it. We are a bright democracy. We don't want what we have heard before, gerrymandering. We don't want that. We want something that's where we follow the law and it's in the best interest of the Bahamian people. And so I believe that the Boundaries Commission should continue to do its work, but bearing in mind the proximity that we are to an obligation to have a general election. Let's hurry this up along. Let's do this so that we can go out there and we can canvass persons and persons can see who's vying for their constituency and we can make the Bahamas what it needs to be.
Yeah. You've been ratified for Tall Pines. We were talking about this off air, about how big an area this is. How challenging is it to canvass an area like that, to represent potentially an area of that size?
Listen, Tall Pines is a wonderful constituency. It is a large landmass. It has, in terms of registered voters, almost 6,500. I believe we would almost there at this time.
What are some of the neighborhoods?
We have in Tall Pines, we have the Christie Avenue section of Stapleton. A shout out to those wonderful persons that I've met over the past 2 Saturdays. We have Jubilee Gardens, which is on Gladstone Road. We have the area of Hamster Road, Faith Avenue North. We have Bellot, McKinney, those areas right there. Rocky Pine. We have in the area behind Bahamas Faith Ministries International. That's a part of us along Carmichael Road. And we have what they call the Brownstone area. We have Strawn's Hill. We have Ross Davis Estates. We have quite a number of wonderful areas in Tall Pines, that Fire Trail Road area by Whole Armor Ministries. We have so many wonderful communities. In
Pretty
Tall
spread
Pines.
out.
Spread out, ready for their next member of parliament in the person of Safant Roll, and so can't wait to represent each and every one of them.
So this comes up a lot. The role of an MP. What do you see as the role of an MP? And I'll wait to hear your answer before I ask the next question there.
The role of an MP generally is to obviously represent the persons, the people, all of the people in the constituency, to represent, to be their voice in Parliament and outside of Parliament, but also to take to those persons the mission and mandate of the government, whether you are in opposition or whether you are in the actual leading the government of the nation, taking the issues, the concerns, the mandate, the policies, the agenda of the government to the persons in the constituency so that they understand and are able to access resources and to understand their community. So the MP is the chief organizer, so to speak, in the constituency, bringing resources and attention to the constituency and also Dwight and Chester, the resources from the constituency and the opportunities. In Tall Pines, we have quite a number of small businesses and entrepreneurs, young and not so young persons, seasoned professionals, persons in different vocations. And so as an MP, it would be my responsibility to also try and attract some economic energy to those persons. We have a lot to provide in Tall Pines, a lot of exceptional talent. And so to give a platform for those persons to broaden their business and to do well.
You said something, sorry, you had the next question, but you said something kind of important there, and I always joke in my head when I hear it in the House of Assembly. Tall Pines supports this and that and this and whatever. And I go, do they? Did they? Do they even know about it? You know, and you said, you know, it is the job of the MP to bring that information to the constituency. I don't know how often that happens. How often, if there's a bill that's going to be debated, that the constituency knows that this is about to happen, they know how it's going to affect them, that the MP brought that to them and said, what do you guys think about this? Because nobody ever says, some Tall Pines supports this bill. Which would be cool, because then they would actually know how the people in that constituency feel. But our majority of Tall Pines, but I understand you can't say only some of us support it, but you get my point.
You know, Chester, I think that and I do get your point on that, because we hear it all the time. You know, I rise on behalf of the people of such and such, and at the end XYZ, and sometimes it becomes cliche because some of these representatives ain't talk to nobody.
Exactly.
About nothing. But what you do is, this is why you have to remain engaged with your people, and you have to know who your people are. For instance, if there's an issue with regard to fisheries or agriculture, you should know in your canvassing or just your discussions, you should know who are some of the persons in your area who are involved in these industries. They should be persons that you should get on the phone or get a WhatsApp or an email to and say, hey, this is XYZ. Can I get your viewpoint on this? And even depending on the issue, you may decide to have a town meeting or a street meeting or whatever you want to call it. Engage with your people. We have all this technology, but I'm noticing, although we have advanced technology, we are communicating less effectively. And so we're sending out flyers. We're seeing stuff, but we're not hearing or listening or understanding.
Right.
So we have to have more engagement, meaningful engagement. And there's nothing wrong with an MP getting up in the House of Assembly or a senator getting up in the Senate and saying, I support this, but these are some of the concerns that persons in my community have,
Bravo.
or these are some of the issues, or that or objections that some people have. Just laying it on the table so that their voices are heard.
We hear it, but only when they're in opposition. That seems to be a concern.
Well,
But everything's magical when you're in government. All right, so you said that what you see as the role as an MP. Is there a place for local government in New Providence, in your view?
This is my view. I believe that there is. I think that we have to grow, and sometimes we have to force maturity and growth if we really, really decide that we are a developing nation. We have so many. Listen, I listen to your radio show. All these voices, all of the callers who call in with all these magnificent ideas, sensible people, been to sensible schools, come from sensible families. Not everybody have to go pile up in Parliament to be no MP, to contribute at a local or national level. And so I believe that even if it's incrementally, we need to be able to embrace what we have, which is some of the brightest and best minds in this country, people who want to contribute. When people contribute, especially on a local level, on a meaningful, heard level, impactful level, I believe that people will take more pride in their communities. I believe that people will actually respect their neighbors, their elders, the young people who have new innovative ideas. I think that once we begin to do that on a local level, we will see the Bahamas truly change. We have local government in the Family Islands. That needs to be further enhanced, and this is my view. That needs to be further enhanced. And so I look forward to see exactly what we will do in the Free National Movement.
Okay, I was going to ask you. You keep saying it's your view. What is the FNM's view on it? They have promised local government for New Providence before, but is that not where the party is now? Where do things stand?
I will say this much, Dwight. Yesterday, we relaunched a wonderful digital platform and a website, and there's some information there. I don't want to call it teasers, but some information there. I see it's covered one particular aspect in
the Guardian
today.
The
Guardian today, and so there are different things that we're going to roll out in more detail. So I don't want to preempt, but I believe that the party that I'm a part of and the ticket that I'm running on will roll out a very aggressive, meaningful, and impactful framework that the Bahamian people can be proud of.
Yeah. I noticed you used the word, you used a couple words, but you said maturity. Why do we have to use that kind of word? Are there people who are not mature and do not get the benefits of local government? Are we battling with that?
Well, when we use the term maturity, local government in New Providence, really, some people would say it doesn't really exist. And so anything added, anything that would enhance would be a maturing of the system. The local government system, not just in New Providence, but across the Bahamas, I'm sure. And so as we graduate and finally put certain elements that people can feel and see, it's a maturing of the process. We're maturing as a country.
Yeah. No, I hope you don't mind. We were talking about this off air, and it disturbs me. But with all the rain we've been seeing with Imelda, we saw MPs all over the island looking at drains and dealing with flooding.
We saw FNM candidates.
We saw FNM candidates. We saw everything. People, everybody. But
not everybody.
Not everybody.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
But these are supposed to be legislators or aspiring legislators. This is, and I'm sure you would want to see what's happening with your constituents. But this really should be the work of local government.
This should be the work of local government, and it should be the work of the national legislators and government as well. Natural disasters, Dwight. If we look to our neighbors to the north, depending on the capacity or the intensity of any national disaster, you have the local response, municipal and state response,
absolutely.
and it goes up. And I think that we need structure. in that regard, because then we can have a better allocation of the resources. And the response times, because right now it's who does what agency, blah, blah. You hear people say, environmental health ministry works, and it's the MP, and, I think we would have much more order in that respect, and people can prepare. Because every community, every neighborhood is actually unique. And so somehow...
The challenge is when your MP is not with the governing party, does that mean that you don't get the same treatment as an MP whose party is in power?
And that's an interesting question, and it's an interesting reality, especially for some persons in many communities in the Family Islands. That's more of a reality for them. That if their MP is not with the governing party, they feel neglected and ignored. And if you look at the track record for some constituencies, Dwight, what's a shame is even when they have an MP from the governing party, they have difficulty. Could you imagine one that is not? So we talk about that, and they have local government. So we have to have a broader discussion about that, even in New Providence.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you talking about constituencies that even have representatives who are in the upper echelon of the government?
Yes. I mean, I'll just be frank. I'm canvassing a constituency right now. There's a sitting cabinet minister there, and there are huge challenges. When I knock on doors and people talk about health care and the issues, the Minister of Health is their member of parliament. They should be able to speak to their Minister of Health and their MP about issues, especially in the ministry that he ministers in. There are challenges there. Talk about the issue, the ambulances in Long Island. We see yet again on social media, saw this weekend, there was another issue with somebody who had to be transported with the elements on the back of a truck yet again. And so a lot of persons are wondering if this government or if the system is working for them, whether it's the current government or the incoming government, the Free National Movement. We need to have confidence in the system that is working for us.
Yeah. All right. So you mentioned it, the teasers, I think you put it. These pledges that some of them are discussed in the Guardian today. The headline really just does jump out at you, though. F&M promises to provide $200 a month in child support to new mothers if elected. Can you explain that? Can you shed some light on how this would work?
I'm thankful and ecstatic that it's there. I will say that much. This provides some hope to quite a number of persons who have been through this, having children, and understand that the support is necessary, and those who seek to, and those who eventually will have. And so it's not just for today. I'm sure persons who've been through, like I said, bearing children and dealing with the difficulties and the economic difficulties that are there are happy that the child that they had last year or years ago will eventually come into a system that is better equipped to assist them. And so that's there. Now, in terms of the nuts and bolts, with that, and I'm happy you said that. I kind of figured you would ask me a question along those lines. And so I made just a note here. And the truth of the matter is, as we sit down and we craft these different policies that we want to present to the Bahamian people, we're doing it with the families in mind. I still believe, and the F&M does believe, that the family is the structure that needs the great support for people to have the best chance. And so we're focused on easing the burdens of families and creating real opportunities for young Bahamians. And so the details may not be there right now, but we're still consulting with economists and educators and social policies and people who've been through this. People who better than I guess, well, I don't know, but Chester, I don't know how many kids you have, Chester. Two. So Chester would be one of those persons who we should consult, because I'm sure he could tell us how expensive it is right now and to deal with this. Okay. And so we will continue to develop the details. What we do want to do is we want people to know what we're thinking of, what we're addressing. And
So
when we
it
put
sounds like just throwing ideas out.
Oh
there.
no. We have been developing so many different policy ideas. We have a team of persons who are running, who intend to run, and also persons who are professionals and, like I said, economists and other different professional fields who are helping us put frameworks together, not just to put something out there and say we could do this and we could do that, but say how we intend to do it.
You don't want nobody teeth your strategy right now.
But Chester said what I wanted to say.
Chester sounds like a PR man, but anyway. All right, so this one though, this is very interesting. In here, it says that the FM is promising to fix the broken health service by immediately hiring 100 new doctors and 200 new nurses and upgrading hospitals and addressing the mental health crisis. All right, that sounds amazing, but again, how is that going to happen? And the crisis we have is not just 4 years old. This goes back many years over many different administrations. It took us a long time to get as bad as we are, and it doesn't sound like it'll be as simple as just hiring new doctors.
Well, I think the question, Dwight, I think the question that we do have to ask is what is the state of the hospital and healthcare in the country today, especially that is administered directly by the government. Okay, we see this implementation of and the approval in principle for the 200-bed facility.
Right.
But when you speak to the average Bahamian, what is the state of Princess Margaret Hospital today? What is the state of the Rand Hospital today and the clinics today? And so we do want to develop a new one. Everybody likes something new and shiny. But today, immediately, that person who's taken Grammy to the hospital today or taking earlier this morning or whatever time it is, I know it's normally early in the morning, their family member for dialysis, they want the system to work today. And so if you have a failing system or a system that is critically inadequately paid attention to, you want to begin to address the issues in the current system, okay? We need more doctors. We need more nurses because the doctors and nurses that we do have now need more support and resources, but that's also human resources to aid them in what they're doing. And so we're addressing those issues by speaking to the professionals who are in the industry or in healthcare now, but also speaking to the persons who are affected daily, not just on the service provider end, but the actual patients and their families. And what people are saying to us is that we need more doctors, we need more nurses, not just to be piled up in Princess Margaret. Dwight, we have so many islands and so many clinics that are inadequately serviced. As I traveled throughout the family islands and you speak to different nurses, and not just nurses, but the allied professionals, janitress and security guards at some of the facilities, they don't feel as if they're getting the resources, the assistance, the pay that they deserve. And guess what? They're not. And so we need more persons to assist with that so that we can take the system of healthcare to the next level in this country, which eventually may include a hospital, and I believe it should, another hospital, but in the proper place that doesn't have an impact negatively on the environment. And there needs to be more studies and more consultation with residents wherever it should go, and key stakeholders.
All right, so before we take a break, so we have in the paper again today 2FNM saying that the government should pause the new hospital development. We are close to a general election. We know this. If it doesn't get beyond the stage where it's at now, are you saying the FNM would pause this and would reconsider this, rethink this plan for this new hospital on Providence Highway?
I stand with my colleagues. I think that the government should pause it. And I think depending on how far along things get, when the F&M assumes governance, we will have to review and pause certain things to make it make sense. So I do stand with my colleagues, and I believe they issued a wonderful statement. I'm proud that they did, addressing those issues head on. They knock on doors. They speak to many people in their constituencies who've been bringing this up. It's a major, one of the most topical issues now in that area, and also not just for their constituents. In Tall Pines and other constituencies, we have medical professionals and other persons who are impacted by this decision as well. And so kudos to them. I'm happy that they issued that statement.
Okay. All right. Let's take a break. When we come back, we have more to talk with Sir Fent Roll, the F&M Secretary General, about. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Don't judge the day by the morning.
Here's a Sherwin art store moment from Shelley and Dee Dee.
We're the only full art store in the Bahamas. If we don't have it, we make a list, and trust me, our boss can get that. If you need that, he can get that. You can find sketchbooks, acrylics, the canvases in all sizes, stencils. We have the Angelus that they use on shoes and letters. We're the only persons in Nassau that carries the Montana spray. We have the Krylon sprays, watercolor and paints, the oil, chalk paints, the alcohol paint, metallic paints, the little Floetrol, and we have cleaning products for the artists, thinning products for the artists, and Crayola colors, and glitters, pencils, the Posca markers, and pastels, oil, and the acrylic pastels, dyes. Oh yeah, we also have airbrush paint. I didn't forget that part of the movie. Gift sets, hobby craft,
Oil shrimp, stew shrimp, shrimp gumbo. But art supplies. We have a lot of them. Sherwin-Williams Art Store. Find colour in every day.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us, because we've got you covered.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Craving something with bold flavors? Introducing the new Bacon Portobello Mushroom Melt, only at Wendy's. Enjoy our hot, juicy beef stacked with crispy applewood smoked bacon, savory sauteed portobello mushroom, and drenched in our rich, melty cheddar cheese sauce, all on a warm, toasted bun. Gotta be craveable, gotta be Wendy's. Available for a limited time only.
Are you searching for something new? Something exciting? Your dream job in paradise? Well, look no further. Royal Beach Club Paradise Island is hiring. Join a dynamic group of passionate hospitality professionals, craft unforgettable moments, and thrive in a vibrant, welcoming atmosphere. Play your part in shaping the future of our team while growing your own career every day. Bring your energy, your passion, and your creativity to a workplace that's as dynamic and fun as you are. At Royal Beach Club Paradise Island, the opportunities don't just exist. They're limitless. So are you ready to find your perfect fit? Visit Royal Beach Club at paradiseisland.com/career today and step into a world of exciting possibilities.
Cleveland Clinic, you set your course, not cancer. So when your journey takes an unexpected turn, you seek out the experts who've conquered it before, and you forge new paths to help fight cancers. For every route to a cure, for every care in the world. See how we're innovating cancer care at Cleveland Clinic today.
Looking for insurance that fits your lifestyle and your budget? At Star General Insurance, we've got you covered. Whether it's motor insurance with flexible options for third-party liability and comprehensive coverage, or commercial insurance products that protect your business, we have choices you can afford. Own a home or renting? Our home insurance products have just what you need. And for the adventurers out there, we offer marine insurance too. Visit our website or social media pages for contact information and quotes. Star General, insurance made simple.
Don't wait for a storm to arrive. Stock up on hurricane supplies, make home repairs, purchase a generator, and more this hurricane season with a Fidelity personal loan. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
Got your final look at weather, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. So, your tropical outlook. We're keeping an eye on Tropical Storm Melissa. Melissa just in the Northeast Caribbean Sea now, and bringing heavy rainfall and flooding over Hispaniola and Jamaica. As of 5 o'clock, the center of Melissa, located just about latitude 14.3 degrees north, longitude 73.5 degrees west. Melissa moving towards the west-northwest near 7 miles per hour. A decrease in forward speed and a gradual turn to the northwest and north-northwest expected during the next few days. On the forecast track, Melissa is expected to approach Jamaica and the southern portion of Haiti later this week. Maximum winds are near 50 miles per hour with higher gusts expected. Some gradual strengthening is anticipated during the next few days. Melissa could become a hurricane on Thursday. So again, regardless of the forecast track, which the tracks are not in agreement at the moment, this is going to bring some hazardous marine conditions to the southeast Bahamas at least, with large overtopping waves and sea spray posing coastal risks throughout the country, in fact. And everyone's being advised to monitor Melissa very closely. We'll keep you updated here on the Guardian News Network. Morning Blend weather brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. If you're ready to refresh your space, head to your local Sherwin-Williams for premium paint, pro tips, and everyday deals that make it easy to get started. And we've got your final look at traffic for the morning brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. Heavy traffic still on Milo Butler Highway. That's from Fire Trail straight up to Tonic Williams Darling Highway in the northbound lanes. You're going to see that there. And it will pick up for you as you get north of Sports Center Road on Providence Highway, approaching the six-legged roundabout. Your alternate routes are also busy. You've got Blue Hill Road seeing some heavy traffic just north of Soldier Road, northbound to Independence Drive. East Street, also heavy traffic, East Street South there. Soldier especially, northbound to East-West Highway. Robinson Road, still heavy westbound traffic just west of the Soldier Road intersection with Prince Charles Drive. And in downtown Nassau, seeing some heavy traffic on West Bay Street, near Nassau Street, and along Bay Street. Keep that in mind if you're in that area. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. Get a quote however it suits you. Stop by your nearest branch or get an instant motor quote online at nuainsurance.com. Quick questions or big decisions, they've got you covered.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan with Chester Robards. We are talking with F&M Secretary General Serpent Roll, and we do have, unfortunately, some breaking news. The NASA Guardian confirming and reporting this now. Police are at the scene on Munnings Drive off Gladstone Road, where the body of a woman has been discovered, and we will keep you posted on this, but we've been talking about all morning, so this is very, very sad news indeed. And again, police on the scene right now. We'll have more throughout the day on the Guardian News Network. Okay, our final few minutes with Serpent Roll here. We heard Keith Bell say this is going to be a very nasty election, by-election, general election, and he then proceeded to be nasty, saying that he's going to get into the garbage cans and use, I think he said, Bradley Roberts tactics, but a nasty election. And we're already seeing it now, lots of concerns about AI. Let's talk about that. How nasty is this likely to get, and do we have a pledge from the F&M to not get as nasty as what we've already been seeing?
Dwight, we have a responsibility to focus on the issues, to be, use that word again, mature about things. We already have many voters. There's voter apathy. There's persons who see this as a circus. Some see it as a carnival time. We need to bring the seriousness back to it, and we need to not deflect from the true issues that are there. And Dwight, I just want to say, you mentioned about the Munnings Road.
Yeah.
Our thoughts and prayers are with whoever that individual was and their family. And it's concerning Munnings Road again. We know that a few weeks ago there was, I believe, a murder on that same road. So we want the authorities to pay particular attention to developments there. But this whole thing about going in the garbage can and whatnot, listen, we have to be responsible. We have to be responsible. The future of our country depends on it. It just, and to use responsible language, appropriate language, we can be frank about things, honest, obviously, we should be. But this gutter politics, Dwight, it just has no place in the future of the Bahamas.
Too small for it.
This divisive tribalism, we're not moving on in ways that we need to move on in this country because we spend so long, especially after a general election, after John Canoe in some instances, whatever it is, where we have to compete. We spend so long having to heal, and we don't advance as a country because of that. And we have to be careful, those of us who are putting ourselves forward to be leaders in this nation, elected officials in this nation. We have to be the ones to take this to the next level and to show people that we are mature about the way we do things. We can go out, we can canvass, we can have a spirited and lively debate, but we do not need to have this gutter mentality. When you talk about going in the garbage, come on, be responsible. And I'll cut to the chase. You are a sitting cabinet minister, and what you say affects people who are even forming, children who are forming their character. We have to be careful what we say.
Yeah.
We have to. Our country deserves better from us all.
Yeah. Wow. All right. We got a couple minutes. We can take some calls. Yep. And send your text messages 422-4796. Give us a call 323-6232 325-4316 325-4259. Call us toll free 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning. Doing well.
All right, I listened to your guest, and he was talking about the hospitals. He was talking about the F&M plan to employ more nurses, right? But the thing about it is, we all know that. You ain't coming up with nothing new. We all know that every successive government know we have to hire more nurses. So you ask him a question of what they're going to do, and he just iterate the same question would you ask him about hiring more nurses. The thing about it is, we need to cultivate industry or a nursing school where that we could train nurses, train Bahamians probably from even in school. Have a cadet nursing program where that you send students from grade 10, 11, and 12. They're introduced to the nursing cadet program where that their community service is working in the hospital, getting familiar with the hospital, getting familiar with the system. You understand? Like, give us a comprehensive plan, not telling us that, hey, we need higher nurses. Yes, we need higher nurses. The problem ain't hiring nurses because you could hire 1,000 nurses. How much of them would stay on the job? What are you doing to better the atmosphere? I mean, the hospital condition to attract nurses, to keep them staying there. You understand? And the thing about it is this, is that, I'm sorry to say it, right? Because it's run by the government, you have persons on the job feel that because it's a government-run operation, that they don't have to produce, or they could call this one, they could call that one, they could sit down, they don't have to serve this one, they don't have to attend to that one, and they could do so. I think that the hospital needs to be crazy. You understand? To ensure that we get the best results. And then the other thing he has been saying, talking about a comprehensive plan. We need a helicopter pad on these hospitals, on the hospital, because if somebody get injured on the island, they have to go to the airport on that island, wait to get transport to Nassau International Airport, to have an ambulance come from the hospital or wherever they stationed to drive way out by the airport to pick them up, to bring them down. When you could have invest into a helicopter, an ambulance helicopter, where that anything happen on the island, you could transport a patient less than half an hour from any location, whether it's Inagua, whether it's Mayagüana, and they could land straight on the hospital and go straight down and get attention.
Thank you very much. Good ideas. And even better, we could have a proper hospital in the southern Bahamas. That would be a great long-term goal. Maybe not even long-term. Okay. If you want to respond to
I'd love to respond to that, Dwight. And I'm happy that caller is bringing up the health issue again. That this is one that it doesn't matter if you're black, white, rich, poor. Healthcare is something that we all need to pay attention to. There is a nursing school. Here. Yeah. And so...
I think a cadet program.
There is a cadet program that's been around. What the caller is talking about, he said it's nothing new, okay? There's some things that the FM will implement that will be new, and there's some things that the FNM will implement that restructure or reinforce what's already in place. And that's a part of the huge problem that we have. We have things, we have the nursing cadet program, we have the nursing school. What do they need now to further develop to make it more impactful for those persons who are involved in nursing or who want to get into nursing, and to impact us across the country with professional nurses who live in a country that they can actually afford to live in. And so the issue isn't so much... or not only about educating new nurses, it's retention. That's a major problem. We have some awesome, amazing nurses.
Countries around the world throwing money at them.
We have Bahamian nurses who are leaving the system because the resources, the respect isn't there in many instances. And so the retention is one of the things that we will focus on. Why is there a bleed? No pun intended, but why is there a bleed in the nursing profession and the system? So we have to look at that. And again, what I said earlier about speaking to professionals, speaking to people who are going through these, we are speaking to nurses. We're speaking to retired nurses. We're speaking to persons who want to become nurses and persons in the system who are telling us about the burden that we have in this country. And so incentives and opportunities needs to be something that we look at so that we can retain the best, the very best, and attract even still those outside of the country.
Right.
But to retain our own. And that's another reason why we have to question if spending $280 million on a new hospital at this time, when you do need the helicopter pad, you do need all these bright ideas.
Wow.
Is $280 million a good idea at this time?
Oh, boy. Let's take this call really quickly, our final call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Mr. Rule. Good morning, Bahamas.
Hi.
Very quickly, Dwight, look, we can skate around the issues as much as we want, right? But until we address our number one issue, which is immigration, we wouldn't be able to fix nothing. Nothing will be realistic. Firstly, we need to do an inventory to understand who all are in the Bahamas first. So we could create, for the first time, a realistic budget, which is very important. You don't need things so ad hoc where you're building a hospital. We don't know how much bed space we need. We are building new schools. We're looking at classroom space after shortage, but we don't even know how much students we have. We have to do a comprehensive inventory on our immigration issue first.
Okay.
Secondly, Dwight, we don't even have a national development plan. So is the F&M government will introduce a national durable plan, whereas successive government, put it in the place where successive government will build off one another. For the last 52 years, we've been starting over how much time?
Yeah.
The only time
Good
we
question.
had consecutive governance was then the long period we have to live and serve for 25
All right,
years.
let's get him to
Everything
respond.
else-
We're running out of time. Thank you so much, Cleaver. All right, National Development Plan, you want to get to that one first?
I know what I like to talk about first, if I can, is the immigration.
Okay.
And that's very topical. We knock on doors, people, young, old, whoever it is, talking about that issue. I do agree that's Cleaver Duncan. I do agree with him. When he speaks about the inventory, I use the term the audit. We do need an audit. We need more information about, in particular, the issue of citizenship. Citizenship and other categories of that we deal with in terms of the right to be here, to live, to work, reside in the Bahamas. The public needs to understand what has happened. I don't think just within the last 5 years. I think within the last at least 10 years. How many people have we given Bahamian citizenship to?
Yeah.
And what are the issues there? So I do agree that there needs to be that. When there's more information out there, people can either decide to quell down or to be further enraged, depending on what the data is.
Right.
And so I think when we talk about the citizenship in particular, we have to have a discussion about that, and people have to be aware of the numbers. Otherwise, you let people go to their own devices and imagination when they see all these things in the papers.
Which
and
is what we're seeing
whatnot.
now. Yeah.
So I do agree that we have to have that discussion. We do support the National Development Plan. We are in support of that, and I think, I know when we further develop the issues in print and digital means for people to see, we will the language there as to the extent that we will go will be something that they can be proud of.
Right.
But we do support the National Development
Got
Plan.
about 30 seconds here. This text says, it's clear to me that Mr. Bell spoke about a nasty campaign because he wants to be nasty. Nobody else. It was pure projection and allowing himself to bring out a base nature. Oh, boy. Well, all right. Any idea when the general election is going to be? Do you have any thoughts?
I am just praying that we know soon, and that the Bahamian people will get the government that they deserve, which is a free national movement government. They are calling for it. People saying, ring the bell, ring the bell. So whenever it is, whenever the Prime Minister calls it, we shall be ready on day one to govern this nation to a standard that it deserves.
Any idea when the by-election is going to be?
I think that they said we should hear pretty shortly. When the actual date is. That's what we've been hearing. And so we know that the funeral for the late minister, Vaughn Miller, is Friday. Right. And we stand with that family as they lay him to rest. Yeah. And we are prepared after that to have a further discussion and engage with the persons in Golden Isles, whatever the decision is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Servant Roll, thank you so much for being here this
Yes.
morning. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Good
It's great
luck
to
to
be
you.
here. Thank you.
And hopefully
Yes.
we'll talk again soon.
Yes, thank you.
All right, we're going to take a break for news and be back with business. Bristol Wines and Spirits with us this morning. Looking forward to that after this break. Stay with us.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
This is the Guardian News Network update on the hour. With still no answers after searching for hours yesterday, family of missing mother Lauren Saunders say they will keep searching for her as long as they can. Her aunt Alice Roll told the Nassau Guardian Lauren disappeared after leaving work Sunday, reportedly to meet someone. Her car was later found along Coral Harbour Road with a flat tire. Lauren is pregnant, and Roll says her 2 children are eager for her to return home.
The eldest one is in grade 6 and he's asking, where's my mom? You all find the car, so where's mom? Nobody's able to sleep. It's been rough. It's really been rough.
In other news, the FNM is promising new mothers $200 a month in child support if the party is elected to form the next government. It was among the pledges in the party's vision for affordability, transparency, and inclusion released yesterday. The FNM is also promising to remove all VAT and import duties from healthy foods and essential medicines. It has pledged to hire 100 new doctors and 200 nurses, recruit 100 police officers each year, and build at least 5,000 new homes across the country so Bahamians can own their own homes. And a man survived an attack by gunmen last night, escaping with gunshot wounds to both of his legs. Police say he was outside of a residence along Hayes Street off Market Street just before 10 p.m. when the occupants of a grey Japanese model vehicle opened fire in his direction before fleeing the scene. The victim is now in hospital in stable condition. That's what's making headlines at this hour. AP Update is next.
With Christ Church Cathedral, Nassau starts here. This November 1st, George Street is coming alive at the cathedral that made Nassau a city. The Christ Church Cathedral Street Festival is back, filled with mouth-watering food, one-of-a-kind art and crafts, and a $10,000 raffle prize. Feel the rhythm of Nassau with live performances, Bahamian music, and fun for the whole family. Nassau starts here, said November 1st.
Hey sis, are you ready to reset, refocus, and rise? It's time for the Unstoppable Weekend, happening November 8th and 9th in Freeport, Grand Bahama. Join us for 2 unforgettable days of empowerment. Saturday's luncheon brings inspiration, connection, and sisterhood. Sunday, Stuck to Unstoppable workshop, focusing on shifting mindsets, breaking limiting beliefs, and equipping you with the tools to step boldly into your next season. Register today at www.heysisempowerment.com. Your unstoppable journey starts now.
From around the world, these are the latest AP International news headlines. A large-scale overnight Russian aerial attack has targeted Kyiv and other cities across Ukraine, including Zaporizhia. In Kyiv's Dnipro district, emergency services rescued at least 10 people after a major fire caused by a drone debris. Israel has completed the identification of the bodies of 2 more hostages as Vice President J.D. Vance in Israel works to nudge forward Gaza's fragile ceasefire. The authorities identified the deceased hostages as Ari Zalmanovich and Tamir Adar. Paris's iconic Louvre Art Gallery has opened following an audacious jewels heist. Outside, Stephanie Dorsey from Florida says she's just amazed the heist was done so fast, under 4 minutes. One of the priceless items stolen, an imperial crown with more than 1,300 diamonds, was later found outside the gallery. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Event Business on this Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robart. And guess what? International Champagne Day is coming up in just a couple of days, October 24th. And we are talking about champagne and I think sampling some champagne this morning. Yay. We've got our friends from Bristol Wines and Spirits with us. We've got Kyle Stubbs, Tori Saunders, and Zine Williams. Good morning again. Great to see you.
Good morning. Always good to be here.
Hey, happy Champagne Day, soon to be.
Yeah, that's
Champagne.
Champagne. Yeah. Not the sparkling wine category.
Not that.
Okay.
You cannot celebrate that on International Champagne Day?
No. Well, no. So we're celebrating the king of the sparkling wine category, which is champagne. Right?
Okay.
Prosecco has its own day. Cava has its own day. Cremant has its own day. Even
Okay.
But this week, Friday, is all about champagne.
Well, hey.
Oh, it's Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
Sounds amazing. Okay.
There's a couple of things going around town this week for people to celebrate. I see a dinner across at Paranza. We have a champagne tasting tomorrow evening.
Sold out, by the way.
Yeah. And then the temperature changed. So it just...
You can feel it, hey?
It just
is definitely
seems
different.
appropriate to change the beverages we're enjoying.
Yeah. All right. So before we get into sampling, let's talk about champagne. And you mentioned it, sparkling wine. It is all champagnes, sparkling wines, but not all sparkling wines are champagne.
There you
right?
go. Spot
there
on.
you go.
All champagnes are sparkling wines. Sparkling wines are champagne. So champagne is a couple of things we use to define it. One is the place, which is actually in France. Champagne is a place in France. It's a region. Two is the process that it goes through. Very meticulous, right? And so let's just start and think about ourselves here locally about how we do sea grapes, right? We would look at a sea grape tree and we would say, oh, those sea grapes are ripe. But tomorrow we will come and we will handpick the ready berries. We will go through the bunches and just pick the absolute best berries. We ensure ourselves good, flavorful experience with those sea grapes, right? That's what champagne does. Some other sparkling wines will do what we also do with our sea grape trees. You know, you carry the kids out to do some sea grape picking, you lay the sheet down on the floor, and you'll shake the branches. What do you end up with? Unwanted, wanted, semi-ripe, ripe, overripe, rotten animals, right? And so when we think about the quality of sparkling wine, just the difference between hand harvesting our grapes and mechanically harvesting our grapes gives us quality, but also starts us off with some pricing, right? Tori is a real hard worker. He's a guy who is okay with going in the vineyard and hand-picking those grapes. I'm a hard worker too, but I don't think I can do that. I would sit in a vehicle and just shake the vines, right? Probably take Tori 3 weeks to harvest, a couple hectares vineyard. Probably take me a couple hours, right? And so labor-intensive, so there's a price associated with that, but we're starting off from a quality standpoint as well as the grapes that we're putting in this juice.
Okay.
Secondly is we go through a secondary fermentation, right? So the equation that gives us all of the styles of wine is yeast breaking down sugar, releasing carbon dioxide, and we end up with a grape juice that has an alcoholic content in it now. What we do in sparkling wines is we go through a second fermentation. This time we want to trap the carbon dioxide. That's how we keep the bubbles in. In champagne, we trap those bubbles inside the individual bottles, right? So I think today we have Laurent Perrier. Let's say Laurent Perrier says we're going to do 10,000 bottles of Blanc de Blanc this year. With the second fermentation in 10,000 individual bottles, right?
Wow.
And then what they would do is they would let the dead yeast, after the yeast activates all of the sugar, fall to the bottom of the bottle and age it for 15 months. So we call it aging on the lees, right? So that's where we develop a little bit of the complexity and the bready, brioche kind of aromas and textures and taste flavors. And then we have to go through a couple more things. We have to remove that unwanted dead yeast cells by freezing the neck of the bottle. Well, firstly, inverting the bottle over that 15-month aging with a slight rotation on a daily basis. And that's just forcing all of the unwanted yeast cells to the neck of the bottle because we need to remove that. We will freeze the neck of the bottle, right? We call it disgorgement. Remove a little bit, 3 ounces, 4 ounces. That will include the dead yeast cells. The dry wine that we started off with, we refer to as the base wine, is what we would use to top up those ounces of liquid that we removed that was frozen. We removed the impurity, right? And then we finish off the process, we seal up our bottle, and we send it out. That is just the standard, brut champagne. Now, we can get a lot more finer in details depending on, the champagne's house designation of certain wines. If it's a vintage wine, right? If they have a different age regimen that they're doing with vintage wines, would only come out when there's really, really good growing conditions.
Wow,
Or
okay.
favorable years, right? Whether it's only in stainless steel or it's inside oak barrels, whether it's a combination of all of the grape varieties that we use in champagne, like Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, and Meunier, or is it just Pinot Noir, or is it just Chardonnay, or is it Pinot Noir focused with a little bit of Chardonnay, or is it Chardonnay focused with a little bit of Pinot Noir? And that's how we kind of get to the small little nuances and differences inside champagne.
It sounds like a lot.
So for champagne, the secondary fermentation you said happens in the bottle.
In the bottle.
And the primary fermentation happens in a barrel.
In a stainless steel tank.
Right, in a tank. Okay,
Yeah.
right. And so the process of freezing the neck to get the dead yeast out, that's an age-old process. So okay, that goes back.
Yeah, that goes back, and a lot of it was manually done. Today a lot of it is mechanically done.
Right.
I can't remember where was I. In California somewhere this summer, just watching sparkling. So they call it traditional method. So it's going through the champagne method.
So there are sparklings who do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it was a large wooden crate that probably had about 300 bottles in it. That was going through that mechanical motion of rotating over that 12-month period. And literally on a conveyor belt or processing line, you would have those bottles all with a machine that covers the neck, freezes just the neck, right? And keep that going on the conveyor belt where the next step will be to remove that. Right? And then the next step will be reintroduce some of the base wine and then continue with the corkage and the foiling and the packaging and moving it along.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
That's kind of why we see, Prosecco's what are good and they have a purpose at $15 to $25, while we see the traditional methods, sparklings and cremants and cavas, which are all traditional method, but not the champagne, $25 to $40.
Right.
And then we start to see things like we'll taste the La Rosa, we've tasted a couple of times before, called grower champagne, where they want to make it a little bit more affordable for the consumer, $55 to $60. But then when we get into the business of champagne and the bigger houses and the economics at play, we're talking $100+ dollars.
So we've had some really good sparklings on the show, some that, like this is perfect, right? But are there some that could make you say, well, this is as good as some of the champagnes? Like, or can you tell the difference?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So we have, I think this is only the second time I tasted it. I did a tasting a few weeks ago at Island House, an Adami Prosecco. Right? And so the difference is that secondary fermentation inside the large stainless steel tank. Same thing, we'll allow the dead yeast cells to fall to the bottom, but we're talking about a lot more liquid that's not interacting with the dead yeast cells. The tank doesn't invert, so there's no real complexity that we're developing. So freshness and fruit character is what we have dominant inside Prosecco. Oh, geez, I lost my train of thought just now.
The ones that compare or that cannot ever
so
compare.
the Prosecco that we have at Dami, what they did was they did 3 secondary fermentations, right? So through that aging over, I think it's 9 or 10 months. So in that Prosecco, you get the refined, smaller bubbles like you would get inside champagne, and then you have less of the fruit character because on 3 occasions as opposed to 1, we've introduced yeast.
Okay.
Right? So the amount of yeast that falls to the bottom of that tank that trap the carbon dioxide is a little bit more than the regular Prosecco who just went through 1 secondary fermentation. And then, so for us, that we sell at $45, but it deserves that. Right? Honestly, you blind taste me on that with like a low host, it would be difficult.
Wow.
It'd be difficult. Because it's a Prosecco that doesn't have all of the fruit character because we have the extra yeast interaction. It's a Prosecco that doesn't froth your mouth like soda, but more so it prickles the palate like champagne. So blindly looking at it, it'll be difficult.
Wow.
Okay. All right. So for folks who say, I like the sparkling wines, but champagne's not for me, what would you say to them? Is that just how it's going to be for you, or do they need to try something else?
It might be that that's how it is for them. It might be that the sparkling wines that they're enjoying have a little bit more residual sugar, a little sweetness to it. And it might be that they're not experienced to the champagne that also has the extra residual sugar, like the demi-sex and that kind of stuff. Right. Or it might be a price thing, right? Because, these are the occasions I drink champagne, right? When I get the approval to get a bottle or to celebrate a occasion, which is maybe 3 times a year. But outside of that, a good Prosecco is what I'm looking at.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Right.
But I mean, it's still your choice. 'Cause, I mean, I'm not a big champagne guy, but I love a good Cremant. Like the one we have. That's a good one. I like that.
So Cremant is a
traditional method.
But as a house or a grape? Or
No. So that's the term we use. So it's a sparkling. So we just Cremant is sparkling. Right? So when we say Cremant de Bourgogne is a sparkling wine from Burgundy. Cremant de Loire is a sparkling wine from the Loire Valley. But when we also, that Cremant is going to be a traditional method sparkling wine. Right? And so the one that we have that belongs to Simonette Ferb / Louis Latour, it's just miles outside of Champagne. And that's technically why we're not calling it champagne.
Okay.
The grapes are sourced in North Burgundy and Chablis, which is just south of Champagne. Same process, same aging regimen, but it's a Cremant de Bourgogne because it's not in Champagne.
Yeah. All right, so I think we know the answer to this. So will the most expensive champagnes always be best, or mid-price? Is it, I know we like the little host, but what's your view on this?
I won't say it's the best. It's still your preference.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it might be the best to me, and you could taste Speroni and be like, I love Speroni more than LP. But that just may be your preference.
That's hilarious to see.
When we talk about the best, we have to be objectively tasting wine against wine, right? So just as we spoke about blind tasting on a good quality Prosecco and a La Host, it'll be the same thing if, we pull out a bottle of La Host, nobody knows it's La Host. We pull out a bottle of Moet, nobody knows it's Moet.
Right.
It's a preference thing. When we
that's the safe.
I would be safe, but marketing gives us the perception that the most expensive, the most marketed is the better quality, right?
With everything, right?
With everything.
Yeah. Wow.
So La Host it gives us good quality and it's reasonably priced. But I love our Billicard salmon, which we didn't bring today, Brut, right? And that's just my personal favorite. Just gastronomic. It's just clean. It's just really well made. But it's not our most expensive.
Right.
Right.
Well, I have a question about expense then. Will the most expensive
beautiful
bubbly beverage in a bottle be from Champagne?
Yeah.
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 That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. They would cost more than
like
a traditional method.
But is that marketing again? Is that just
it's economics as well?
Okay.
Supply and demand. Let's just say I did, let's say this year is a very good year, all right, and we produced 100,000 cases, and within 3 years, we've sold 90,000 cases. And cases in the rest. then we see economics at play
Right.
because there's 10,000 cases. So everybody who fought over the full 90 cases is now fighting over 10,000 cases.
Right.
Highest bidder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so we kind of see a little bit of a price war, price game.
So you've been around to a lot of different regions. Is Champagne and one of the most ideal, would you say, regions for growers?
For growers of Pinot Noir and Chardonnay.
Ideal region.
Ideal.
Okay.
Right? And so we can't replicate what happens in Champagne nowhere else inside the world.
Okay.
We can get Champagne style expressions of Chardonnays and Pinot Noirs,
Right.
but we can't get what happens in Champagne anywhere else.
Wow.
So that it makes the place special, it makes the juice special, and it makes the price higher.
Special.
Yeah, amazing stuff.
It's not
All
on
right.
special. But
All right, so which one is this that we have today?
This is the host Rosé.
The bubbles on that, amazing.
yeah, it's very lovely coming from the bottom.
So this is a smaller project that now belongs to Bollinger. Of course, rosé is our brief interaction with the red skins and the juice underneath. The same second fermentation inside the individual bottle, the 15 months of aging on the lees. And so we expect to get some characteristics that we usually get in Pinot Noir, some floral stuff, some red berry fruits, also maybe some citrus and some tree fruit things that we usually get from Chardonnays. And then, let's just put it on the palate and see.
Yeah.
But this will be our more cost-friendly champagne.
And what are we talking about in terms of cost?
It's
Zina's
Oh,
gonna
I got
get
it.
that.
I have the prices.
Yeah.
So the price for this is with VAT $47.69.
no, it's good.
And just for anybody who wants to, I just want to, right? It says Champagne, Le Host, Brut Grand Rosé, right? Bottled by family. Tells us all of this on the front. Right, the box is in French, and I don't want to get too deep into that. A little bit more on the alcohol content from Champagne, just making sure that all of these things, Champagne, France, all of these things we need to check off on the box so that we don't get bamboozled into thinking that we're drinking sparkling wine and calling it champagne. And there's a brand in our market that globally it's happened and we followed it. But it is a French sparkling wine, and we refer to it as champagne. And I don't want to call it a name,
But it's not?
It's not.
Oh, boy.
The bottle has champagne on it?
No, the bottle has French sparkling wine.
But the people call it
champagne.
champagne. Okay. All right.
And that's,
Rick Ross calls it champagne.
Oh.
we have a few other rum, tequila is what you may call it tequila, and it's not tequila.
Yeah.
Champagne, what is not champagne.
right.
Yeah.
We call it.
Yeah. So
You know,
so we have to be guardians and stewards.
This
And
is
I don't like to sound like a prick when I be like, hey, that's sparkling wine, not champagne.
Yeah, what's the response you
I
get
like to
from
do
that?
it.
Oh, I do it.
This isn't super sweet. It's not along the demi-sec line, right? But
So it's telling us brute. So technically, that sweetness that we're getting is leftover residual sugar that's in a very small amount because the yeast would have died after it killed out
right.
all of the active sugars, right? So that's good fruit character that we're getting.
Yeah,
that's
but
giving us the
it's
impression
a
of
perfect sweetness.
yeah, man. This is
Very
it's
refreshing.
great.
Yeah,
That's
beautiful.
on the side of a nice salad with some vinaigrette, lobster
yeah.
tail, anything from the raw bar.
Yeah. Sounds very good. You have any questions as we get ready to celebrate International Champagne Day? Give us a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. This texture here, I don't know this making this texture. Dwight, I didn't know you were a wine bibber. Really don't know what to say. Okay.
Huh?
Well, welcome to the show. We've been doing this for many years now.
I think we're heading towards year 3 now.
Yeah,
And
right. So
Bibber, I like that.
Bibber.
Dwight, you're a wine bibber.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
I almost thought that was my wife texting. She wouldn't have said she don't know.
We give you a nice Bristol certificate with that one.
Yeah, okay.
Certified wine bibber.
Certified.
So yeah, that's get out of the shirt.
Certifiable.
So what is WEV testing, or you say web testing? How do you say it? Tasting. So that's wine, education, and vintage. I had to look it up. Yeah. So what's that?
Repeat the question again. Sorry.
Wine, education, and vintage tasting for that. It's important. It's important to know that the vintage.
The vintage. It is because the quality, even though it's always superior quality, can vary vintage over vintage depending on the growing season, right? There's some vintages where it's mild enough that there's no concern about frost in the vineyards, and then there's some vintages where they're putting buckets of fires inside the vineyards to make sure that there's no freezing of the grapes.
Okay.
Right. And so a moderate climate is going to give us a particular style and some expressions. An extremely cold climate is going to do something different, and an extremely warm climate is going to do something different. And so when you want the best of the best, and especially in France and Italy, it's all about terroir driven. So not much of the winemaker's influence. You would want to drink wines produced in the best year. And there's some vintages that really stands out to people as far back as 82. But we've had some really good vintages, 18, 19, 21, 22. So it's becoming, I don't want to say it's becoming a little bit more regular. My wine journey over the last 12 years, I think we probably had about 4 or 5 really good vintages from France. And so those years, we'll see an increase in prices as well. Just because the quality level is noticeably different.
It sounds like if you go to those countries, their consumption of what's grown, what's developed there is
super high.
Yeah. But it's also probably much more refined. I don't want to use the word snobby. It might feel snobby to us if we're over there.
Yeah. But no, it's everyday thing to them.
Right.
The kids are tasting champagne and good burgundies at 12 and 13, just a little sip at lunch, right? Or like I had a supplier in this week, he's from Argentina, and another wine culture, that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
He was 7, I think, or 8 when he had a taste of Malbec with club soda, right? And his dad introduced it to him. But that's culture, right? So yes, from us who doesn't have that as a innate part of our culture, we go there, we would feel like, I must be stush. But to them, it's an everyday thing. So today I'm drinking a table wine at $3, and tomorrow I'm drinking Veuve Clicquot or something that costs me over there $35.
All right, so we want to find out about this one that Tori just popped, but before we do, this texter says, so if the wine is sweet, does it necessarily mean that it's cheaper or cheap?
No. So Laurent Perrier has a demi-sec, and all that is when we remove the dead yeast cells, that disgorgement I spoke about in the frozen part of the bottle, the level of sugar that's in that wine that we reintroduce to the bottle leads us to, sweetness levels. And so that is how we determine a demi-sec or anything of that sort. But it's the same wine that we started off with, maybe with a different level of sugar. So nothing has changed besides the level of sugar that's in the base wine that we re-added back to the bottle of champagne. So Laurent Perrier's demi-sec is around the same price as the Brut. Wow. Retail-wise, $100+.
If there's such a thing, does a champagne purist normally not go for a sweet champagne?
Yeah, a champagne purist is looking for a Brut, zero dosage, like a dry, true expression of what's terroir vintage is providing to the winemaker. And that's what they want. They want standard and consistency.
Right.
Yeah.
This person says here, the sweet sparkling wines taste way better than champagne. Champagne's overpriced, overhyped, and overrated. But as we can see, you're going to have a different view. Some people are not going to agree with you.
Yeah. That's his opinion.
But it's if you follow what you've been talking about for all these years, if you understand the process, if you understand the farming, and
there's a little bit more of an
situation.
appreciation.
If you it's like art, right? If you appreciate how the artist brought it to life, you might appreciate the price.
Right, absolutely. I mean, but just to go back to that texter's comment, right? He said the sweetest sparkling wines are better than champagne. We'll try a sweet champagne and then come back to us.
Yeah. Try the La Hosta we tried this morning.
Try a demi-sec, and then
like
your
that.
coach will be like, oh, now this is the king of sweet sparkling wine. Absolutely, demi-secs are, right? And so for us, it's don't get bogged down in price and categories, but explore, right? 'Cause that person seems like they're blocked on sweet sparkling wines, which is cool.
Yeah.
We're just asking you to take a step up and try a sweet champagne.
All right, so we've got a special guest we're going to get to in a bit. You want to talk about this one now when we get back?
Let's pause this and then.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's quickly do this.
Okay, so we which one is this that we have now?
Laurent Perrier, Blanc de Blanc. Blanc de Blanc.
And what does Blanc de Blanc mean something?
White.
100% Chardonnay.
100% Chardonnay. Yeah.
So Tori went to the wine room yesterday and said, you know what, we're just going to carry 2 new SKUs that we brought in for some, if I were to name accounts, 4 Seasons, a couple of places in Bahama, a couple of places in Abaco. And we kind of asked the brand manager if he could have a couple of cases to put inside Crew, where we have some champagne consumers. But Blanc de Blanc is 100% Chardonnay, right? Just the white grape.
And that's a standard term for whenever it is
absolutely.
100% Chardonnay.
And so if we see Blanc de Noir, then it's 100% Pinot Noir.
Okay.
Right? But Chardonnay is the focus of Laurent Perrier as a house style, right? And so this would be one of their go-to prestigious skewers, right? Showing the Chardonnay grape and then the pro-esque of Laurent Perrier. I mean, just looking at just the facial expression.
Having a moment.
That is, can I just say, taste rich? That is an exceptional glass of liquid.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That is.
It's almost hard to describe, like
a lot of fruit.
Yeah, with some bright acidity.
Yeah,
Like
but not overbearing.
No.
Yeah.
But it's an enjoyable
acidic
bite, right?
Grapefruit.
Yeah, it's an enjoyable pink grapefruit.
Yeah.
But again, looking at the bubbles and the feel on the palate is very refined. It's almost like it's just prickling the tongue kind of thing. The acid is real bright and exciting, and there's on the side of some oysters right now.
Oh wow! Yeah. So Chester says it tastes expensive. Is it?
So you're getting good at this, my friend.
179.
Oh,
54 with VAT.
179.
Oh my goodness!
Worth every dollar by taste.
Oh boy!
Yeah.
Oh boy!
That's really good.
Wow.
Okay,
Really
so
good,
that is
Lauren
definitely for
Perrier.
the special occasion.
Yeah, this is not even the Christmas sparkling wine. This is like the 50th anniversary.
For some people.
Yeah, for some people.
For some people, it's a
For some
normal
other
day.
people, we just sold 2 cases to one person yesterday.
Maybe
That's just
New
like-
Year's.
Maybe New Year's.
Yeah.
But to some people, this could be their New Year's wine too. We can't box out any of our customer
That's
base,
right.
kind of thing. But I think for us, it'll be a celebratory occasion.
Right, definitely. Okay, great stuff. We're going to talk more about what you're going to be doing for International Champagne Day when we come back. And we got a special guest on because Kyle, you're always doing some amazing things, eh? We're going to find out more about that when we come back. With Bristol Wines and Spirits. Stay with us, please.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
This October, Bahama invites you to indulge your senses at the Culinary and Arts Festival. where world-class flavors meet breathtaking creativity in the heart of the Bahamas. Join us October 22nd through 26th for an unforgettable celebration featuring culinary Marcus Samuelson, Dario Zucchini, Simeon Hall Jr., and Scott Conant, alongside a vibrant lineup of chefs and mixologists. Explore captivating art installations, interactive workshops, and live performances, all set against the stunning backdrop of Nassau's premier luxury resort. From curated tasting events to beachfront feasts and immersive gallery experiences, this is more than a festival. It's a feast for the soul. Tickets and packages are going fast. Visit bahamar.com to reserve your spot at the Culinary and Arts Festival at Bahamar, where taste and talent take center stage.
Don't wait for a storm to arrive. Stock up on hurricane supplies, make home repairs, purchase a generator, and more this hurricane season with a Fidelity personal loan. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, they're the Athlete's Foot and BTC, Games and More, John Bull Fine Threads, Alive, Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's, Clarkson, Island Luck, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. Deputy Director General in the Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, Valerie Brown-Alsey, says the ministry's strategy to increase stopover visitors has made this a key year for growth as the country stares down a strong finish to 2025 and a great first quarter for next year. She made the remarks following the ministry's first annual symposium held in Margaritaville Beach Resort, which brought together senior leadership, industry stakeholders, and partners for strategic discussion. According to her data, the country is making headway in attracting more visitors. You can read more on that in today's Guardian Business section. BTC releasing a statement calling for collaborative engagement with the unions that represent its employees after those unions took to the media to rail against BTC for the termination of 5 employees, as well as other company matters. BTC saying in a statement that it's aware of recent statements by the BCPOU, the Communications and Public Officers Union, and the BCPM Public Managers Union regarding the release of several BTC employees earlier this month. BCPMU President Kenny Knowles telling the Tribune recently that the union also took its grievances over the firings in the company in general to Prime Minister Philip Davis. BTC saying it was aware of the statements, and while acknowledging and respecting the union's rights to advocate on behalf of their members, it was encouraging continued dialogue through the appropriate and established industrial relations channels. In your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Tuesday, your market movers, Consolidated Water down 11 cents, closing at $7.21. Emira Incorporated down 5 cents, closing at $12. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 3,052.52, down 0.16. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
We are back with Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong along with Chester Robards. We've got Tori Saunders. We've got Kyle Stubbs. We've got Zena Williams in studio with us as we celebrate International Champagne Day. We are sipping on some.
Which is on Friday.
On Friday, October 24th.
But you could drink it today.
Yeah. You could drink it any day or every day if you wish.
There you go. You could drink Laurent Perrier, Blanc de Blanc, I can tell you that.
Budgets allow.
Right. So we've got a special guest. You all know that Kyle is a sommelier, and he is spreading education on everything to do with wine all over the country. But he's always doing something.
Elevating the game?
He's always reaching higher heights. And we are joined now by Shalico from the Academy of Wines and Spirits, who's going to tell us about something special that Kyle has done.
Oh.
Yeah. Good morning, Shalico. I hope you're pronouncing your name right. Are you with me? Yes, we can. Yes, you can.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so
yes, you're pronouncing it correctly.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so tell us what our Kyle has done here.
So we've known Kyle for probably about 3 to 5 years, and he's come through a lot of our courses, and now he is going to be one of our educators to continue training in Bahamas.
Okay. All right. So he's obtained his wine educator certification, and that sounds pretty important.
Yeah.
That's what's entailed with that, Shalico. Tell us about that. Again, you're with the Academy of Wines and Spirits. What does it take to become one of these educators?
So it takes some time. You really have to want to invest in yourself, and you want to know that when you begin this journey, that you've got the support. And that's what we've done with the Academy of Wine and Spirits. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, definitely.
Okay. We now operate in over 25, 30 countries in Latin America and the Caribbean. We're headquartered in Cayman Islands. And when you're going to become a sommelier, you go through different levels. The first level is pretty much basics. They teach you how to pronounce the Blanc de Blancs and the Merlots without the T, and the Chateauneuf de Pape, for example. And then you progress on to level 2, which tells you a little bit more about the terroir, or the sense of somewhere, the grape varieties, how it's grown. And then level 3, once you get up to level 4, you can then call yourself a certified sommelier, because you're well equipped to do blind tastings and so forth. And I enjoy what I do. Excuse me, Kyle enjoy what he does. It's because you can see the progress, especially when you take students on the journey from level 1 and they continue going on. And it's in the hospitality realm, which is where I work as well. We have a little bar in Cayman Islands, but when customers come in and someone asks for a Moscato, I love it. And it's not because I want to get them to drink something that's more expensive, but I want to take them out of that comfort zone, because the world of wine is so vast, as you saw this morning with your champagne tasting.
Yes. That's beautiful. Wow. I can't tell if he's blushing because of your kind words or if it's a champagne, but Kyle's got a glow. Kyle, and you've been spreading the education with us for, as we said, almost 3 years here on the show, and we know your passion for it, so congratulations.
Yes.
Tell us now what's going to happen. What changes here?
Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that, and Shalico, I appreciate you joining us this morning. But what happens from here is we just ramp up on wine education, right? Shalico, like he said, is based in Cayman, right? They, like us, have high net worth tourists. They, like us, have tourists who travel from metropolitan cities with black heavy cards. They leave the 3-piece suits and they come down with ripped jeans and flip-flops, but they still bring the card.
Yeah. Okay.
And a level of service is what they dictate and demand, and they pay and reward for it, right? I always tell people, kind of work and play in the rich man's playground, right? But there's good rewards for it. And what we have in our market is our beverage industry has been driven, and we appreciate it, for 4 or 5 decades, beverage professionals. And now we put our head into the sand, and we wanted to continue the development of local beverage professionals. And with myself being a part of the Academy of Wines and Spirits, and us being able to offer these internationally accredited courses, means that now we become a little bit more consistent and regular in the offering. And supposed to it being, Tory would have been 1 last year. The hopes would be for next year we could get at least half of a dozen at level 3 towards the end of next year. And so in 3 weeks' time, we will have our first rendition of level 1 in wines with the Academy. And Charloco's partner, Christian, who Tory knows extremely well from when he did his level 1 through 3 in wines with these folks. He will fly down to assist and just to bring a little bit more energy to the market. But these fine folks have been partnering with us well before I was with Bristol's, right?
Okay.
And they've also partnered with did some training with some of our competitors on the ground. And so while I'm with Bristol's, and Bristol's has afforded me this opportunity, and this will be the home base. This is for development and training of professionals inside the country as we move the industry forward.
Fantastic.
I think I could go to the limp and say, this time next year we will have some Bahamian wine professionals participating inside Bahamas Culinary and Wine Festival. It's supposed to just Bahamian mixologists. And so we'll see a nice mix of master somms and international somms come down next year with the addition of some Bahamian wine professionals to show, where the market is moving. At the end of the day, we have some restaurants on this island that's selling wines at $10,000 and $12,000.
Say what now?
And so there's a level of professionalism that needs to come with that. There's a level of knowledge that needs to come with that, because not everybody is going to be able to confidently sell $10,000 bottles, right? But those who do, the reward is great, right? 15%, 18% gratuity on a $10,000 bottle of wine. If I was still in the restaurant industry, I was calling in sick for the rest of this week. Right?
And what would that taste like? But anyway, okay.
Like money
oh
going
my
in
goodness
and money
gracious.
going out.
Good Lord. Okay.
What do you get to say about your restaurant or bar or whatever you have that has somebody with actual this kind of knowledge, this level of knowledge on the payroll?
It says that you are fully ingrained in the totality of food and beverage, hospitality, and the professionalism on all levels, right? The chefs were first, right? At one point, we had chefs like doctors. You see them in the white coat, it's nicely stiff, and, it's like, sometimes you can't get a moment with a chef, right? Those were the gods inside food and beverage. The chef came out to my table, right? Then after that was the wine stewards and the wine sommeliers, right? But for us in our market, rum-based and beer-based, the mixologists had a leg up on us, right? You don't make the kind of money on food or rum that you do on wine, right? So for those who focus in a little bit more, they can see the impact on the bottom line, and those restaurants stand out. Like if I call some names right now, like Great Cliff stands out.
Yeah.
Right? Zapatilla stands out. Kana in Bahamas stands out. Cafe Baloo stands out. Right? Cafe Martinique stands out. Cafe Matisse stands out. Those are big wine restaurants. And so the customer knows I could get a good bottle of wine. 2, I could get good service. 3, the experience that is delivered is usually one that I don't question paying $200 for, $300 for.
And Chalico, you're seeing this throughout the region as well, or all over the world? What are we seeing right now?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a trend. I mean, we sort of want to continue spreading the gospel, as it were, in terms of wine education and wine knowledge. It's in jurisdictions like ours, Bahamas, Aruba, you have a lot of high net worth individuals who go to spend money, and just like Kyle said, there's a certain level of expectations they come with that, how to properly open a bottle, how to pour it, how to talk about it. And he's not wrong. $10,000 for a bottle of wine. We have a restaurant here at Mykonos. They're selling wines for $23,000.
Oh my goodness.
And when you're making 18% off of that, you're right. All in sick for the rest of the week.
Wow.
It's something that, and again, people don't realize that especially in hospitality, once you educate yourself, sometimes you find it hard spending that $200-300 to educate yourself. But the reward that you get back within, a couple of weeks, you put your head down, you study the wines, and now you start going out and presenting it. It's going to come back to you. So that invest in yourself. Right? Think about it from that point.
Absolutely. Okay, we're running out of time. So, Kyle, I know you were telling us off here about the Laurent Perrier. This is new to Bristol, really?
Yeah. So this last year, so the Blanc de Blanc is new to us. Mm-hmm. The Heritage is new to us.
Okay.
I'll be honest, they weren't brought in for retail space, so you'll have to come to Crew on the top of the hill, Gladstone Road, to get your hand on any of these. And then
similar price for the Heritage as the Blanc de Blanc?
Yeah, Tori's going to get that for you right now. But this is just a blend. So LP isn't about vintage champagnes, but they have prestige cues. Wow. So this would be a blend of their prestige cues.
Okay.
Cuvées, sorry.
Are you having any other specials for International Champagne Day?
I think we can offer a 15% discount all day on Friday on all champagnes. Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Stop at any Bristol store, let them know, and we'll make sure we send a note to all of our stores as soon as we leave here. But we'll offer some 15% discounts on Friday.
From Champagne.
From Champagne. Real Champagne.
Got to be Champagne, not the sparklings.
Unfortunately, tomorrow night, Champagne tasting, we are 5 out of the 6 SKUs that we taste are brand new to Bristol's. But we do have a wait list of about 14 or 15. So I think Zena has penciled in the date for November, and we will...
Are you going to do another one?
We'll bring back another champagne.
Okay.
We don't want people to miss this. For whatever reason, this has been oversubscribed. We want to get everybody in. We want you to taste this juice. We want you to enjoy the holiday season and drink some good stuff. Just as having another favorable reaction.
Which one do you like more?
And neck and neck.
This one is 107.
This is
so
good.
this is Chardonnay and Pinot Noir.
Right.
Okay.
This will be their prestigious cuvee blend, but this will be in between, the regular range of the Brut and the Grand Cycle.
Yeah.
Right.
This tastes like the champagne you would have when I was like 13 or 14.